Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes,
I don't like that.
You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, July 24th. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon. I'm Sam. Let's get right into it. Former special counsel Robert Mueller is testifying before lawmakers. And because we're live, you're looking at his testimony before the House Intelligence Committee happening as we speak. Let's listen in.
Included in our report.
So to that point, you addressed one of the issues that I needed to, which was from your testimony this morning, which some construed as a change to the written report. You talked about the exchange that you had with Congressman Liu. I wrote it down a little bit different. I want to ask you about it.
And earlier today, Mueller spoke before the Judiciary Committee about whether or not the president obstructed justice. Listen to what he had to say.
And what about total exoneration? Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
And your investigation actually found, quote, multiple acts by the president that were capable of exerting undue influence over law enforcement investigations, including the Russian interference and obstruction investigations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it correct that if you had concluded that the president committed the crime of obstruction, you could not publicly state that in your report or here today?
The statement would be that you would not indict, and you would not indict because under the OLC opinion, a sitting president, excuse me, cannot be indicted.
Meantime, Republicans grilled Mueller on his decision to not charge the man behind the alleged dirty dossier, Christopher Steele. Take a look at this.
Director Mueller, can you state with confidence that the Steele dossier was not part of Russia's disinformation campaign?
No, as I said in my opening statement, that part of the building of the case predated me, and by at least 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Manafort's alleged crimes regarding tax evasion predated you. You had no problem charging them. And matter of fact, this Steele dossier predated the Attorney General, and he didn't have any problem answering the question.
The president has been tweeting about it today, including this, saying, quote, no collusion, no obstruction. Okay, we've heard Trump say this. We've heard Trump tweet this. We've also heard from Robert Mueller's report that that's not true. We heard from Robert Mueller's report today that that's not true. But we're back to square one. Did we learn anything new today?
Yeah, you can take 3 things away from today, and I get it, guys. We're all tired of it, so just know we're all on the same page, okay? One, on the overall looking of it, if you don't know anything about it, he looked tired and flustered, Mueller, and he looked a little out of sorts and a bit ill-prepared. And when you want your report to be taken seriously, it wasn't the best. He's been asked 4 times to speak up into the mic, and before you say, well, he's nervous, he's the head of the FBI before. He's testified in front of Congress. This man knows how to speak, and it just looks like he didn't want to be there. So that's not great. 2, he did say right off that the president could be prosecuted after he leaves the office. That's sort of brand new for people. And number 3, he said if he could have, he would have basically indicted the president, but he can't because you don't indict a sitting president. Now, that is to say to Congress, I need you then to impeach, since that's the next step. Those are the 3 things you got. But again, very weak, to be honest, and Republicans drilling him a lot on saying this whole thing was started on a lie. They really believe that. So I don't think he did the best job today, and I'm a little disappointed, to be honest.
All right, well, chime in, DBL Nation, chime in. We're going to continue to follow it. We'll break if there's anything interesting that we want to bring you. Well, some shocking video just came in, and a warning to our viewers. This is graphic content. A bison charged a 9-year-old girl in Yellowstone National Park, and video posted to Twitter seems to show that attack. 2 adults run away while the bison rams into the girl, sends her flying into the air. Yep, you're going to see that right here. Now, everybody should know she's okay. Okay, she is not seriously injured, but park officials are warning visitors to stay at least 25 yards away from large animals.
Yeah. Now, okay, so whilst bisons look incredibly cute, they are wild animals. So these are animals that weigh over 2,000 pounds that can run over 35 miles an hour. And since 1888, there have been signs all over this park saying, keep away, keep your distance. That you're 5 times more likely to be killed by a bison than you are a bear.
Wow.
Now, I think people just
I don't
get
think
way
people
too...
realize that.
I think they get way too comfortable. I think people are so used to seeing, you know, these like fluffy or cute-looking animals that are large and slow and steady. But believe me, they're not.
But Stephanie, it's not your job to tell these people to stay away from a wild animal. It's not the park's job to tell people to stay away.
Of course it's the park's job, because they're the ones.
It's common sense. I grew up watching when animals attack, and you won't see me get anywhere close to a stray dog, let alone a bison.
You're right.
Like, come on. So I call it the twig factor. I'm glad she's okay, but twig, T-W-Y-G, that's what you get.
I'm with you.
I'm glad she's okay. She didn't stick the landing, you know, and she's okay. But to the guy that got mauled by that mama bear for trying to go touch the cubs, twig. That's,
you have to say it like that's what you get.
I don't think I would have typically adopted your acronym, but I'm with you on this one.
Thank
I
you.
love
Power
twig
in
because
numbers.
it's absolutely asinine to me that people think whether there's a sign or whether there's not, but to Stephanie's point, there's signs everywhere. Not only do witnesses say that there were 5 to 10 feet from these bison. 5 to 10 feet. That's like from me to this camera, from me to Tori.
Nothing.
That is insane when you're supposed to be 25 yards. Now, just to put that in perspective, that's an Olympic swimming pool.
Wow.
25 yards, a quarter of a football field. That's a long distance apart. And witnesses claim that this family went up and petted the bison.
Oh my
Say it with me, Tori. Say it, Tori.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now the daughter, 9 years old,
Glad
she
she's
didn't know, but the parents should have known better. Shame on
I
them.
mean, what would have happened if she had have died?
Oh man.
I mean, it's very serious.
Yeah, I think the parents are put their child in.
If there's appropriate signage, you got to read the signs.
Yeah, child endangerment. It is. It's a thing. Okay, Louisiana State University just got a brand new $28 million football locker room. Players can take naps on seats that turn into beds. There are also iPad stands, charging stations, new offices, training room, players lounge, and a cafeteria. While some people are excited about the new space, LSU has been getting a ton of criticism online. One student tweeted out a photo of the library that's in shambles, asking why this money wasn't put towards a more deserving cause.
Boy, bye. Boy, bye, because $0 and cents was paid for this with taxpayers or state funds money. The LSU football team last year netted $58 million in profit for the school. Now, I've never seen 80,000 people buy tickets to go to the library, but I've seen 80,000 plus people consistently sell out a stadium called Death Valley. And when it comes to the library, the athletes, we don't even really get to go to the library. These athletic performance centers have our locker room in there, has our dining commons in there, have our library or our study hall in there. So boy, bye.
What are they going to do? This looks like a glorified airplane to me. You're telling me they're going to sleep there?
Stephanie.
They definitely take naps.
Thank you.
They definitely take naps
we
there.
spend
They
more
100%.
time there than we do in our dorms.
Okay, so I'll defend you there. Of course, coming from a Division I athlete myself, I have great respect for you and for the entire athletic department at LSU. I get it that you're spending the majority of your time in that locker room. I get that you're taking naps in there. However, I don't know if it's $28 million.
What do you mean, Sam?
I would like to see a portion of that. I mean, if these are private donors saying I want it to go directly to the football department, I'm not going to tell you where to put your money. But if it's saying, hey, I'm writing this check out to LSU, I would like to see those funds divided up in many different arenas.
But why?
I agree.
Because
I think it's fair.
Why?
But why?
If I was looking at LSU, to be honest, and I saw that library, that's
awful.
decrepit.
Well,
I mean, that's embarrassing.
I'm glad you say that because in 2017, Clemson did a survey because they won the national championship in 2016. And they did a survey to the new students that enrolled there and asked them how much did Clemson football team winning the national championship play or influence them into going to Clemson. 55% said that it influenced them. But 55 didn't say anything about a library or a student union.
Could it have been a $15 million locker room?
Yes.
And $10 million?
No, not when Clemson is paying $30 million.
Okay.
But do you agree that that library looks bad? Do you agree? Can you say that out loud?
I wouldn't know because the athletes were not there.
You can't tell me right now on air that library looks bad.
That's on the school. Why does a football player? Why does a football team have to pay for a library?
I'm not asking you that. I'm saying, can you say that library independently looked decrepit?
It looks terrible.
Okay. Tori over here like a prosecutor. I'm a little nervous.
I'm gonna be like, mother, can you speak up?
Nice.
Can you say it again, please?
Tori Shulman. Wow, missed your calling, my friend. Unbelievable. We got to give a big DBL shout out to Jennifer Lopez. Today is her 50th birthday. Can you believe that Jenny from the block is 50? What?
I love her.
Well, the birthday girl posted this video of herself dancing on Instagram, showing that she's still got her killer moves. And her fiance, A-Rod, posted this very sweet video tribute. Watch.
Hi, baby girl. Just want to wish you a happy birthday. I cannot believe this, baby girl. Since we've been together, you have made me feel like every day is my birthday. Thank you for your passion and your energy and your inspiration and your endless pursuit to be the best at everything that you do.
That's so cute.
I'm not a big fan of A-Rod, but I like how he treats her and how he gushes over. And I love J-Lo.
She has the best work ethic. If you've ever seen any documentary, she was a Janet Jackson backup dancer. That girl goes, do it again, do it again. And one of the dancers goes, can we take a break? And she goes, do it again.
But what's her secret to looking so good?
Right, okay, so I spent a lot of time researching into this, and a lot of it is basic stuff, but we don't all do. So she meditates every morning.
Good for her.
She sleeps a minimum of 8 hours.
A minimum?
10 an ideal.
Whoa.
Not many people can do that.
Yeah.
She works out every day. She has 2 personal trainers, which includes circuit training and weights and dancing. So working out.
Yeah.
Working out is fine. You don't need a personal trainer. No smoking. No caffeine.
Wow.
No alcohol.
As I'm drinking coffee.
She only
As
has
I'm drinking alcohol. Kidding. Just kidding.
I love Sam.
Just kidding.
Lots of clean eating, and she says the most important thing is she never goes to bed with her makeup on, and whenever she doesn't have to wear makeup, she just wears moisturizer and eye cream.
You know what else she said? She uses La Mer, one of the most expensive. No. She uses La Mer on her heels.
No, she did.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. On her heels.
I don't even know what that means.
She does.
What is it?
Most expensive cream on the planet, and she uses it on her heels.
No, she doesn't.
Like her feet. DBL is live. Coming up, our movie expert talks all about Quentin Tarantino's latest flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is it worth your money? And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. You're looking at a live shot from Washington, D.C., where Robert Mueller is testifying right now. We're sharing your DBL take about what's going on. Coming up next. Certain things about certain celebrities. So I remember when J-Lo was dating Ben Affleck, for some reason she was like, for me, I was like, because I loved Ben Affleck, like I was more into learning about J-Lo than I'd ever been. And I've always loved J-Lo, just like you. And I remember her, there was I don't remember if it was like In Style magazine, but there was a really intricate, like long interview of her, and there was like different like pictures of her and Ben Affleck in their convertible. Remember they had matching convertibles, Bentleys.
Of course.
And so she's in there, and her feet are up, and she goes on to say like what her beauty routine is. And 2 things I remember from the interview. One being a rose serum that you can get from Whole Foods.
Shut up.
She
Rose
claims
balm, like the balm?
a rose serum she gets from Whole Foods. That's what she uses to this day.
Okay, yeah.
Rose serum from Whole Foods. That's what she uses to this day. I think it's only like $40.
Okay.
And then she uses La Mer, one of the most expensive creams on
So
her feet,
expensive.
because her feet tend to crack.
Oh, poor
like,
J-Lo.
She wears like
Her feet
sandals and
tend to
whatnot.
crack.
But this cream's like $300 for like a little jar.
It's
So I remember
tiny.
reading that being like, what?
I mean, I know she uses, she openly says she uses La Mer all the time, especially that eye cream. She really, really rates it.
I can only afford the
that's-
samples.
It's hundreds. It is hundreds and hundreds. That's why I didn't say it on the show, because I mean, it's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
We can't afford it.
Although
you know?
the rose
seaweed
serum
from like the Narnia
The rose
ages.
serum from Whole Foods apparently is pretty cost effective. So.
However,
La Mer moisturizer actually has a similar cousin called Embryolisse, and we use it right here at DBL.
You do?
Yeah, all the time. So it's a great moisturizer. You can also use on your heels.
Is it at Target? I think
it's at Target.
Embryolisse, because with an E.
Very similar.
E-M-B-R-O-Y-L-I-S-S-E. It's kind of hard to see, but it is. It's got great rave reviews. But let us know your secret to aging, or you just like let's go for it.
And one more secret from JLo, actually. Scott Barnes, her makeup artist, actually douses her in body glow.
That's
so
the body
she
glow.
was one of the originators of like the body glitter and the body jewels and all that
Scott
stuff.
Barnes started that.
And his line was the first liquid bronzer for the body all over. So get into it.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth House when we talk about what you're talking about. We are live and you're watching, and we are watching the Mueller testimony happening right now in Washington, D.C. He is addressing the House Intelligence Committee after being grilled by the Judiciary Committee. Democrats are focusing on the obstruction of justice documented in his report, while Republicans are raising questions about the FBI's investigation into Trump's team. So DBL Nation, this is all about you, Fifth Host. We want your take on Mueller's testimony before Congress right now.
Here we go. Let's get to these comments. Jody from Facebook says Republicans are hostile and doing their best to discredit Mueller, but Democrats are looking to gain support from him. Everyone came in the room with their minds already made up. I think both Republicans, Democrats, not only the people in the room, people in this country already have their mind made up. I think they care about what's going on, but they don't understand. So we're back to square one, like you said earlier.
Nadine from Facebook says it's fake outrage. They knew ahead of time Mueller would go into details that were not in the report. He's actually, Nadine, being very cautious about what he's going into, a bit too cautious. Look, I'm just going to break it down for you. Everyone wanted Mueller to be the voice of reason. We needed the adult in the room to say yay or nay. And in my opinion, he sort of punted the football. And I really wish he would have said, yes, he obstructed justice, but no, we can't indict a sitting president.
He did say that.
He did, but in a 448, he brought a huge book to a Twitter fight. And I think that's really bad. I know it's not what we want. We want people to read, but they're not. And so when you bring a 4-page summary, that's going to get the direction that it got.
Brad from Facebook says, Mueller doesn't know anything. Did he even read the report with his name on it? Oh, Brad, come on. Okay, yeah, he might not have been all singing or dancing as forceful as, like, Tory would have liked. But you know what? I can't even imagine what it must be like to be in that situation. All that pressure, knowing the entire world is watching you. I don't know. I feel really bad for him.
To be fair, he did run a very large, it was like 200 people, and he was the head. So he doesn't know minute details, and he shouldn't. He was delegating a lot. So to be fair.
All right. Bill from Facebook says, I am not sure how many times Mueller contradicted his own previous testimony in public statements today, but it was a lot. I'm not so sure that's true. Is that true? Because he's been pretty careful.
Yeah, he's been very careful, and actually too careful, but I do think it's not done him any favors, unfortunately.
All right.
That's just my opinion. Love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, please continue to write in. We want to hear from you, and thank you for writing in thus far. Lifetime, and I love me a good Lifetime movie, is working on some new projects ripped straight from the headlines. Raquel Villanueva has details at this moment.
Well, Sam, Lifetime is working on a new movie, and I think the title says it all. It's called College Admission Scandal. Now, they don't publicly directly say it's about Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, but describe it as two wealthy moms who will do anything to get their kids into college. Now, you can catch the 2-hour film this fall. And also in the works is a follow-up docu-series called Surviving R. Kelly: The Aftermath. R. Kelly is behind bars right now, and many people credit the original series for making it happen. Now, there's also another series planned too. Surviving Jeffrey Epstein will look into the allegations made against the New York businessman.
I'm salivating. I live for it, especially I can't wait for that Lori Loughlin one.
But it's so close to home. Can they get away with this?
Yeah, of course they can. This is exactly what Lifetime does. Lori Loughlin used to work for them as like their Golden Girl actress.
Who played Hallmark? Okay, Dreamcast Lori Loughlin then.
Oh, that was Hallmark. You're right. So I was just told by our producer she's Hallmark.
Okay.
So that's true. Okay. That's true. So it's even more fair game. Can't wait. Coming up on DBL, the critics are loving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's official, old buddy. Well, it has been.
Oh, you're never has been in our hearts, Leo. Well, the audience like it too. A movie pro talks all about it. Coming up next.
That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
The sun used to make our
Welcome back, DBL Nation. We're here with Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and you might recognize this beautiful young lady, Miss Stephanie Jones, with me today. Today, we're bringing you some brand new beauty tips on how you can be slaying the summer all year long. It doesn't just have to stop for summer, guys. It can go all year, and you can keep doing these looks that slay. All right. So to start off today, I'm actually gonna be showing you guys a quick way to involve neon color into a beautiful look. As you can see, Steph is slaying already. But maybe Steph just wants to like do a little something different, be cute. You know, she's always cute, but you know, be outside of her little box. And that's where the Fenty Beauty liquid liners come into play beautifully. Now these guys come in pairs of 3s. I got one with yellow, pink, and white in it. And I thought with our yellow theme that we were already doing, might as well show off that yellow. So how would you use these? I can tell you exactly that. Now, my favorite way to use these guys is actually using dots. This is a great way without having to have too much precision or too much handwork. You can truly just use the little dots to actually guide your look. So, Steph, I'm gonna have you close, Bill. And for this look, I'm gonna gently just apply 3 dots from the end of the eye. So 1, 2, and maybe 1 more right in the middle. Let's try that one more time. 3. And this, so subtle, yet so cute. Now, if you want to add 1 more, you could actually go ahead and take 1, go ahead and open and look straight up, perfect. Right in the inner corner of the eye. Now, this looks a little different. However, what it does is actually help to guide the eye up and out and brighten the eye in the inner corner as well. Now, you can always do graphic liner and all that jazz, but some of us have a little bit more of a shaky hand. So this is a great way to create a beautiful look that still slays, but doesn't take too much time. Am I right? Okay, girl. Now that's gonna be all for us for this time, you guys, but check us out for next Beauty Blast, where we'll be uncovering if the stash is coming back around. I don't know if you're...
Welcome back to DBL. Some of summer's biggest movies premiere this month, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Entertainment correspondent Maude Garrett teamed up with the streaming site Tubi to give us a preview, so check it out.
If you're looking for a critically acclaimed film to watch, both in the theaters and free on Tubi TV, I've got your recommendations here. Everyone's talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Put it there. That's your son? No, it's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
It's Quentin Tarantino's 9th film. He is bringing it here with an all-star cast. I'm talking Leonardo DiCaprio in his first film in 4 years, teaming up for the very first time with Brad Pitt.
It's official, old buddy. I'm a has-been.
Now, what Quentin's doing in this movie is that he's telling truthful stories with real-life people intertwined in a fictional way, as he does best. And in this case, you have Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate.
That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
A real-life person who unfortunately was murdered in the Manson murders that took place at the end of the 60s as well.
Charlie's gonna dig you.
So all of these real-life stories are being intertwined in such an amazing way. Critics have already seen it during the film festivals and they are just loving it.
Hey, you're Rick Dalton. Don't you forget it.
And if you're wanting a big, critically acclaimed film on Tubi.tv that you can watch absolutely free, my recommendation has to go to Crash. This movie won the Best Picture at the 2005 Academy Awards, and it's pretty clear to see why. You've got the likes of Sandra Bullock, Handy Newton, Brendan Fraser, all in this movie. And it's a really, really telling tale that takes place in LA, where it asks you to not judge a book by its cover because it tells the same story from many different perspectives. It is a hard film to watch, but a must-watch film indeed. Daily Blast Live, back to you.
Subscribe it.
Thank you. And lucky for us, we have 2 people right here that saw the movie last night. Don't give away any spoilers.
No.
And I think we have a photo, too. We have a photo of, look at that.
Hey.
Yep.
Well, I didn't even get the memo that you had to dress up as a Tarantino.
Clearly, clearly.
But you know,
what do you think of the movie?
I think it was really cool. It was a great movie. I love the way it was shot, like the B-roll and the cutaway shots.
The cinematography was phenomenal.
Yeah.
The settings, locations, the choice of actors. Leonardo DiCaprio he's obviously an actor, playing an actor, playing an actor.
Wow.
So the depth within that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Sharon Tate's storyline also great. Go and give it a watch, but be prepared for a long, drawn-out film.
Yes, it is.
Good. Hey, great note. We'll be right back.
going on?
I have one piece of advice to talk to you about if you're going to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you're not very familiar with the Manson family and the life of Sharon Tate, I recommend that you look that up beforehand because then you'll appreciate the details, not to like give away any parts of the movie or like critique it. I just want to give that as like a piece of advice because I feel like you'll enjoy the movie more and the little references he makes, because if you aren't familiar, you're kind of going to be a little lost.
And I completely agree with that, and it doesn't even take that much. I mean, just a quick graze, quick info blast on everything that happened. A quick Google search will really fill you in on everything that happened. And I would also suggest, now this isn't required, I think that's required, I would suggest looking up spaghetti westerns and old school westerns and maybe just like watching a couple of clips or even just looking up and seeing what they are, because there's a lot of those references in the movie as well.
So definitely what we're saying is look up some historical facts before you see it so you'll appreciate it more. Anyway, we will talk to you next break.
See ya.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
All right, well, Lori Sutton addresses Brandon on Facebook. Oh, Brandon, got a little worked up over iPads and charging stations.
Exactly. We make all that money, and you better give us more than iPads.
Well, speaking of that, Derek Jones agrees on Facebook, says, look, you can't pay the players. The least you can do is make them feel appreciated when they're enrolled at the school. A lot of you writing in, they think that they should be paid and change the whole arrangement.
That would completely change the NC2A rules, but yeah, we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Tomorrow marks 50 years since the lunar landing. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first humans to step foot on the moon. Most people can remember exactly where they were watching it all unfold. And today, we're looking into the future by talking to Carl Jones. Thank you for joining us today, Carl. So,
no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Now, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, but what can we expect from NASA moving forward?
From NASA, the biggest things that are on the horizon are the launch of Americans from U.S. soil for the first time since the shuttle's been retired via the Boeing CST-100. And then after that, we set our sights on going to Mars, but the first stop is going to be Moon, and so we have the Artemis program and the Gateway program that are going to basically set the way for that, for us to go to Mars later on. So the Gateway program is basically going to be a launch point, the International Space Station, but not as big. And it's going to be basically a kind of a launch point. So we'll launch spacecraft from here like we normally do. They'll go to the Gateway, and then they'll take lunar landers from the Gateway down to the surface of the moon. And then later on, once we actually start exploring Mars, it'll be basically kind of an intergalactic, gas station of sorts as a stopping point before they go further. 50 years ago, our biggest goal was to just get to the moon and then bring them back home safely. So now we're trying to actually go to the moon and establish a sustainable environment there, get a base going, and then test a lot of technology that we currently don't understand in order to go to Mars or to go to Mars for a long duration space travel. Right now, we don't understand how the human body reacts or how we could, how astronauts would do in a long duration mission. So a lot of those things we can use on the moon first before we start doing that and start sending humans that far away.
If they had volunteers to go to Mars, would you be one of them?
Yes, absolutely. I've always wanted to go to Mars. Honestly, that has been a lifelong dream of mine.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, July 24th. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right into it. Former special counsel Robert Mueller is testifying before lawmakers. And because we're live, you're looking at his testimony before the House Intelligence Committee happening right now. So let's listen in.
From those who associated with your work, dating back to as early as a few weeks after your inception and the beginning of your work, and continuing up to just a few months ago. All of them have one thing in common. They were designed to weaken or to embarrass the president. Every single one. Never was it leaked.
And earlier today, Mueller spoke before the Judiciary Committee about whether or not the president obstructed justice. Take a listen to what he had to say.
And what about total exoneration? Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
And your investigation actually found, quote, multiple acts by the president that were capable of exerting undue influence over law enforcement investigations, including the Russian interference and obstruction investigations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it correct that if you had concluded that the president committed the crime of obstruction, you could not publicly state that in your report or here today?
The statement would be that you would not indict, and you would not indict because under the OLC opinion, a sitting president, cannot be indicted.
Meantime, Republicans grilled Mueller on his decision to not charge the man behind the alleged dirty dossier, Christopher Steele. Take a look at that.
Director Mueller, can you state with confidence that the Steele dossier was not part of Russia's disinformation campaign?
No, as I said in my opening statement, that part of the building of the case predated me, and by at least 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Manafort's alleged crimes regarding tax evasion predated you. You had no problem charging them. And matter of fact, this Steele dossier predated the Attorney General, and he didn't have any problem answering the question.
And the president has been tweeting today, including this, saying, quote, no collusion, no obstruction. Okay, Jeff, so we've heard the president tweet this before. We've heard him say it before. We've heard Mueller say that that's not true. I do not exonerate you. Are we back to square one, or did we learn anything new today?
I don't know, Sam, to be honest with you. You take whatever you want from this. If people feel like they're educating themselves by watching this, go for it. I'd say go for it. Fill it up your heart. I don't know what to say about this. Nothing's going to happen, in my eyes. I don't think anything's going to happen. I think this is all for nothing, and I feel like we just keep dragging this on and on and on. I kind of feel bad for Robert Mueller. He did his investigation. Now he's the one getting investigated. It just, I don't know how long this is going to go on. You know what I mean?
I think, listen,
I'd rather watch, remember when they had that panda birth? I'd rather watch that.
I know,
I don't
but
know about that.
Yeah, that was gross.
Chime in.
Yeah. Now, look, I feel like we won an absolute, like, we're so used to, like, watching movies and watching Game of Thrones till it ends and there's a finale and this happened and this person married this person. That's not going to happen with this. This is a lot of people. Some people were doing things that were very illegal, as we have, 33 indictments, 6 people sitting in jail right now. And some people were doing things that are just probably, as we would call it, Erica, just doing some shady stuff. which might not be illegal. I don't think it's illegal.
Shouldn't we care? Why doesn't anyone seem to actually care?
It's about sides. It's about tribalism. People just want to win. They don't care.
I don't care if this was about Hillary Clinton. I don't care if this was about Barack Obama. I don't care if this was about Trump. I want our elected officials to be held to the highest standard. And if they do something illegal, I want there to be repercussions, just like if I were to do something illegal, or if Erica were to do something illegal, you would have repercussions, Erica.
Yeah, but I think that's where your issue lies. There can't be a final determination because, as we know, a sitting president cannot be indicted. A sitting president is basically Teflon.
So it's a loophole.
So, yeah, so you're not going to get a conclusion until after the presidency.
Well,
that's just the way it is. So that's why everything's up in the air, because nothing can be done. It's like we have all this information, nothing can be done about it. So then it's like, well, he's innocent. Well, no, that's not true either.
Right.
So it's kind of a conundrum.
It's back to square one.
I mean,
we're back to square one.
You're talking about the government being legal when all they are is corrupt. That's all they are. You don't think they have a hand in stock market on insider trading? You don't think they're getting money from activists and lobbyists on issues? There should be no big tobacco. There should be no gun. There should be no NRA. They're getting money from the lobbyists.
Yes, money out of politics.
Just like the gangsters used to do back in the day. You pay me, I'll scratch your back. That's exactly what the government's doing.
Lobbying should be illegal.
But you want everyone held accountable? There should be no government.
I'm just sick and tired of money in politics, and I'm sick and tired of people taking sides. I don't care Republican or Democrat. I just want people to be held accountable.
But
like in the real world. But we don't live in the real world.
Bananas just with one conversation. Now we got to move on. But everyone's like, oh, what happened with Mueller? There's a million other things we can investigate into everyone's presidency throughout time that was corrupt. So I mean, like, if you want to get really worked up about this, let's look into some other things, because there's a lot of corruption in our government, in every government.
Yeah, it's frustrating. DBL Nation, we want to hear from you. Are you frustrated? Are you over it? Did you learn something new today? If you did, tell us. We do want to hear from you. We do have some shocking video that just came in, and a warning to our viewers, this is graphic content. A bison charged a 9-year-old girl in Yellowstone National Park, and video posted to Twitter shows the attack. 2 adults run away while the bison rams into the girl, sends her flying into the air. But don't worry, Erica, she was not seriously injured. She's okay. But park officials are warning visitors to stay at least 25 yards away from large animals. Al Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm ticked. There are signs all over this park saying stay 25 yards away. 25 yards. That's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. That's a quarter the size of a football field. According to witnesses, this family was petting the bison within 5 feet of the bison.
Right, and it's funny because this child, thank God, was not.
And I don't blame the child.
She could have been mortally wounded easily, and we would then be having a different conversation we had earlier this week with the kid on the cruise ship. People don't understand how life and death is right there. That bison could have hit her and then trampled her, stomped her, gorged her, done whatever, and it's. We just don't care because she listens. It's like, oh, it's kind of a funny meme, and you'll see that on the internet. I don't understand how parents are getting away with just neglect. How is that not neglect?
Child endangerment.
Because she's by herself and the other 2 people ran away. If somebody else had ran over there and tried to get in the bull's way, which I feel like a Jeff Schroeder would do. Yeah, a bison. First of all, I should know that was my high school's mascot. You saw that when things started to go down, they left that child. That's neglect. It's not funny.
No, it's not. Child services should be called. They should be questioned and look.
Well, I don't know.
What if it was traffic? Sam, what if it was traffic? What if it's the highway?
There's signs that say you can't do that.
I think this is a cultural thing.
No, if you don't know common sense, you need to be looked into.
Believe me, I do think this is child endangerment, but I almost think as a whole, collectively in our society, we think that we can get right up to wild animals today. We hear this all. I'm not excusing it.
That's the problem.
But do you think child services should be called, Erica?
I don't know if child services should be called. I do know that we have this thing, and I'm very appreciative that there's so much compassion for animals now more than ever before. But animals are still animals. And people should not feel comfortable just walking into an animal's habitat the same way that they shouldn't feel comfortable just walking into my house uninvited. So that's just the way it is, and we really need to get real about the fact that these are wild animals, not your stuffed animals at home.
I know. There's a disconnect. There's a big disconnect. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, we want to give a big DBL shout out to Jennifer Lopez. Today is her 50th birthday. Can you guys believe that Jenny from the block is 50. Well, the birthday girl posted this video of herself dancing away on Instagram, showing that she's still got killer moves. I mean, what is her secret? She says, Erica, that she tries to sleep 10 hours a night. That's some good sleep. She says she doesn't smoke. She doesn't drink caffeine. She uses products like La Mer. She works out every day with 2 trainers.
Like
I want
everybody
what
does.
she's having. I want what she's having.
If everybody had beauty as their brand, or the idea of being a performer as their brand, then that would be their full-time job. I learned that when I worked in an NBA arena. They look like that. They do those things because they're getting paid to do that. If you're getting paid to do that, then yeah, it does become a priority for you. So I don't think there should be a disparity about anyone making their brand out of something that looks good.
Do you guys feel like we're in the most physically fit time in our recent memory? I mean, I'm in the line at the grocery store and like there's a 40-year-old woman in front of me and she's ripped like people do. Bar class, they do Soul Cycle.
You said that you're in the best shape of your life and you're 42.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, we might not be on J-Lo's level because we don't have an oxygen tent to sleep in every night. But I think that we do have it. Like, I think everybody, look around this room, everybody's in relatively good shape.
Relatively.
But we're not pro athletes.
Everyone, look around this room. Everyone's like, okay.
You guys all look fine today.
Everybody looks great. Everyone looks great. DBL's Live coming up. A university's brand new multi-million-dollar locker room is ruffling some feathers. One look at the school's library and you can see why. Plus, our movie expert talks all about Quentin Tarantino's latest flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, is it worth your money? And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. You're looking at a live shot from Washington, D.C., where Robert Mueller is testifying as we speak. We're sharing your DBL take about what's going on coming up next. Hey guys, so let me read some of your comments.
Yeah, I know. Well, impeach him then. And then
yes.
Something else that came out is that.
Do you want to pause?
She said,
would you like to pause?
I'd like to stop it.
Tomorrow marks 50 years since the lunar landing. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first humans to step foot on the moon. Most people can remember exactly where they were watching it all unfold. And today, we're looking into the future by talking to Carl Jones. Thank you for joining us today, Carl. So,
no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Now, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, but what can we expect from NASA moving forward?
From NASA, the biggest things that are on the horizon are the launch of Americans from U.S. soil for the first time since the shuttle's been retired, via the Boeing CST-100. And then after that, we set our sights on going to Mars, but the first stop is going to be Moon, and so we have the Artemis program and the Gateway program that are going to basically set the way for that, for us to go to Mars later on. So the Gateway program is basically going to be a launch point, the International Space Station, but not as big. And it's going to be basically a kind of a launch point. So we'll launch spacecraft from here like we normally do. They'll go to the Gateway, and then they'll take lunar landers from the Gateway down to the surface of the moon. And then later on, once we actually start exploring Mars, it'll be basically kind of an intergalactic, gas station of sorts as a stopping point before they go further. 50 years ago, our biggest goal was to just get to the moon and then bring them back home safely.
Oh, hello there. Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. We are live, and you are watching the Mueller testimony happening as we speak in Washington, D.C. He's addressing the House Intelligence Committee after being called by the Judiciary Committee. Democrats are focusing on the obstruction of justice documented in his report, while Republicans are raising questions about the FBI's investigation into Trump's team. So, DBL Nation, we got to hear your take on Mueller's testimony before Congress today, so please chime in.
All right, Sam, let's do this. Jason from Twitter says, what's so tragic for Republicans that Mueller is literally the poster child for conservative behavior, but he completely incriminated Trump? Jason, I think no matter what we do here today, I think people have had their sides for quite a while now. Some people are going to say it's a bad day for Democrats. Some people say it's a great day for Republicans. I'll say it's a sad day for our country.
Well said.
Alice from Twitter says, it started out rough for Mueller, but I see where it's going now. You could tell he did not want to be there. You know, I don't know. I think that when it really comes down to it, people, like Al said, have already made up their mind. But ultimately, there will be no judgment day, no finality, no conclusion for 1 to upwards of 5 years. So until that day happens, I think we're all just kind of in our own little worlds.
Belinda from Twitter says today's hearing was to get Mueller to advocate for impeachment.
Many believe that.
Perhaps, yeah. I just think it's tough on Mueller to stand in a room and take questions from all those people. I do think that's tough. I mean, I'm not really here to take sides. I don't know what people's answer is. If Mueller did get impeached, the world would become perfect all of a sudden with a new person or woman in place or man. I don't know. I don't know if that's true either.
All right. Well, Terry from Facebook says, end the witch hunt. Enough is enough. The real collusion was from the Democrats. Again, I want everybody to take Democrat and Republican out of the vocabulary and just read the report. And who cares if it's Trump? Who cares if it's Hillary Clinton? Let's really start wanting to hold our politicians to the highest accord. For some reason, we've lost that.
I don't think people want to do that.
Because we're too stuck on political affiliation.
I think that if we wanted, the politicians want to get reelected. That's the only thing they want to do. If we as a public demanded that they be accountable and that they implement policies that we'd like, then that's what they would do. It's almost like the same way people complain about MTV doesn't show videos anymore. The reason they don't show videos is because people turn away when they put videos on, but they watch when Teen Mom is on, so they put more of that on. It's the same with our politics. That we look, they're like, they don't care about policies. They don't care about food stamps. They don't care about Meals on Wheels. What they want to do is they want to have me call you a liberal jerk. You call me a gun-toting blah, blah, blah. We go back and forth, and people love it. It's theater, but at the same time, that pothole in your road's not fixed. Your kids' schools are falling apart, and they're stealing all your money and taking all your taxes. But hey, those liberal jerks, you sure showed them. So I hope you're getting the show that you like, because they're going in your pocket like, yeah, don't you hate these liberals? And taking everything, taking all that away from your kids. They're flying around on your dime and they throw it in your face. And I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you think the Democrats are hurting, because I guarantee you we all are.
Well, we need to rise up. Yeah. All right. Thank you for writing in. We do love hearing from you. Coming up on DBL, are we being too polite on the roads? We'll tell you why good behavior is actually causing all that congestion. Plus,
It's official, old buddy. I'm a has-been.
oh, Leo, you're never a has-been in our hearts. The critics are loving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but will you? We'll get one movie pro's DBL take coming up next.
That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
Welcome back, DBL Nation. We're here with Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and you might recognize this beautiful young lady, Miss Stephanie Jones, with me today. Today, we're bringing you some brand new beauty tips on how you can be slaying the summer all year long. It doesn't just have to stop for summer, guys. It can go all year, and you can keep doing these looks that slay. All right. So to start off today, I'm actually gonna be showing you guys a quick way to involve neon color into a beautiful look. As you can see, Steph is slaying already. But maybe Steph just wants to do a little something different, be cute. You know, she's always cute, but be outside of her little box. And that's where the Fenty Beauty liquid liners come into play beautifully. Now these guys come in pairs of 3s. I got one with yellow, pink, and white in it. And I thought with our yellow theme that we were already doing, might as well show off that yellow. So how would you use these? I can tell you exactly that. Now, my favorite way to use these guys is actually using dots. This is a great way without having to have too much precision or too much handwork. You can truly just use the little dots to actually guide your look. So, Steph, I'm gonna have you close, boo. And for this look, I'm gonna gently just apply 3 dots from the end of the eye. So 1, 2, and maybe 1 more right in the middle. Let's try that one more time. 3. And this, so subtle, yet so cute. Now, if you want to add 1 more, you could actually go ahead and take 1, go ahead and open and look straight up, perfect. Right in the inner corner of the eye. Now, this looks a little different. However, what it does is actually help to guide the eye up and out and brighten the eye in the inner corner as well. Now, you can always do graphic liner and all that jazz, but some of us have a little bit more of a shaky hand. So this is a great way to create a beautiful look that still slays, but doesn't take too much time. Am I right?
Wait.
Okay, girl. Now that's gonna be all for us for this time, you guys, but check us out for next Beauty Blast, where we'll be uncovering if the stash is coming back around. I don't know if you're ready for that. Ooh.
Welcome back to DBL. Some of summer's biggest movies premiere this month, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Entertainment correspondent Maude Garrett teamed up with the streaming site Tubi to give us a preview, so check it out.
If you're looking for a critically acclaimed film to watch, both in the theaters and free on Tubi TV, I've got your recommendations here. Everyone's talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Put it there. That your son? No, it's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
It's Quentin Tarantino's 9th film. He is bringing it here with an all-star cast. I'm talking Leonardo DiCaprio in his first film in 4 years, teaming up for the very first time with Brad Pitt.
It's official, old buddy. Well, has been.
Now, what Quentin's doing in this movie is that he's telling truthful stories with real-life people intertwined in a fictional way, as he does best. And in this case, you have Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate.
That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
A real-life person who unfortunately was murdered in the Manson murders that took place at the end of the 60s as well.
Charlie's gonna dig you.
So all of these real-life stories are being intertwined in such an amazing way. Critics have already seen it during the film festivals and they are just loving it.
Hey, you're Rick Dalton. Don't you forget it.
And if you're wanting a big, critically acclaimed film on tubi.tv that you can watch absolutely free, my recommendation has to go to Crash. This movie won the Best Picture at the 2005 Academy Awards, and it's pretty clear to see why. You've got the likes of Sandra Bullock, Handy Newton, Brendan Fraser, all in this movie. And it's a really, really telling tale that takes place in LA, where it asks you to not judge a book by its cover because it tells the same story from many different perspectives. It is a hard film to watch, but a must-watch film indeed. Daily Blast Live, back to you.
Thank you, Maude. Now, lucky for us, a couple of our hosts dressed up. Let's look at the picture. Went to a screening last night of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
They're dressed up?
Very much Pulp Fiction.
Put this into context, please.
Yes, Pulp
so
Fiction.
I'm John Travolta. Al Samuel Jackson, so that's why if you watch Pulp Fiction, those are the clothes that they get after they get their other clothes dirty.
Like, yeah, that's a good way to put
that's
it.
What they do.
Side by side, can we not clear that image?
Yeah, why couldn't we get the side by side? People would get like it a lot
just
better.
look like 2 guys that are working on our lawns.
It looks good, trust me.
Now, what about the movie without giving away spoilers?
Okay, I'm not going to give away any spoilers. I really enjoyed it. I haven't been to the movies by myself in a long time. It was terrific. Again, I think it's important.
One scale of 1 to 10.
9.
What about you? 1 to 10.
I really liked it. I just liked it was shot on 35mm film, and we were able to watch it in that theater. So I thought it just looked visually so cool.
What do you think of the ending?
I kind of knew the ending because I listened to a 12-part podcast on the whole Manson thing. So
I think it's important that you know the story of Charles Manson and what happened there. But I got to tell you, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. He did a fantastic job. Brad Pitt steals the show.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, coming up on DBL, college controversy, a shiny new locker room, and a library in shambles. Do students have the right to be upset? And a house guest joke on Big Brother falls flat, and social media backlash was fierce. We want your DBL take a little later in the show.
Good. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, almost at Friday. It's your digital break with Brandon. I was going to get to the 5th host, continue to talk about that, but honestly,
who wants to talk about the Mueller report or the Mueller testimony? I mean, I think we've all kind of had it, and then I feel as though we've all been running around in circles with this thing. So I want to keep talking to you all. I wanted to bring up about the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood premiere last night. You saw Jeff and Al dressed up as Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, like he said, when they're at the Wolf's house. After, they got blood all over, their clothing, and they had to get washed down, and that's what they were wearing. Apparently, I didn't get the memo. I was going for the more GQ, elegant look. But it was a great time. I think everyone should go watch it. Kelly was there. Oh, Kelly doesn't want to be on camera, but Kelly, on a scale of 1 to 10, Kelly, what do you think of the movie?
Okay, so I didn't realize it was about the Manson murders. Obviously. Oh, thanks, Brandon. He's so sweet. Obviously, I know about the Manson murders, but I just didn't connect Sharon Tate.
Okay.
You need to know that this is about the Manson murders. That's all you need to know.
So
we won't
they should
spoil
go check
anything else
that out
for you.
before
Yeah,
they go
just
see
know about
this
the story,
movie.
which most of you
I
probably
think our
do.
audience knows that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but just know that it's about that, which I just didn't connect it.
Me, on the other hand, I thought the cinematography was great.
Yeah,
I loved
incredible.
his cutaway shots.
I agree with
B-roll
Jeff.
shots.
Brad Pitt stole the show.
Brad Pitt
His
did a good
abs
job.
stole the show in one shot.
The Bruce Lee part, the Bruce Lee scene got to me because
You didn't
I'm
like
not
that scene.
gonna
How
no
come?
spoilers. Well, because no one's gonna
No spoilers.
no one can beat
No,
up
no,
Bruce
it's not
Lee.
him.
No one can beat up Bruce Lee.
Well,
Like no one can even touch Bruce Lee in
Cliff
a real
can.
fight. Cliff can. I'm Rick Dalton.
you're Rick Dalton.
Good.
You are Rick Dalton.
I'll be Brad Pitt because I feel like his character was.
He stole the
better.
show. I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Brad Pitt
They were
does an
both
awesome
awesome.
job.
They were
Don't
both
think
awesome.
If you could give one Oscar, who do you give an
Brad
Oscar
Pitt.
to?
Me
Brad
too.
Pitt,
Yep.
really?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm saying.
I did love all the cameos throughout the movie.
yeah.
Like if you're a Quentin Tarantino fan,
There were
a couple
also
people
little-
pop up and you're like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, and there were also little
Yeah.
nuggets from other Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
liked that as well.
Yeah, so that was cool. So there's a lot of things if you're a Tarantino fan, and again, I think you said it, you have to know, I'm weirdly obsessed with the Manson murders. Not obsessed, but like
But you
every
know
time it's
about
on,
it.
I watch it.
So you were able to connect that.
They
I
use
wasn't.
all the main guys like Tex and all the other people in there. If you guys know the Manson murders, you know what I'm talking about. But that was important to
It
the
was
story.
important. So make sure
Yeah.
you know about that.
We got
Bye,
more
guys.
DBL
Let
coming
us know
up.
what you think.
Welcome back to DBL. It's summer, so it's time to visit the great outdoors. And that means a dirty car isn't too far behind. Luckily for you, we're talking at the car wash on this DBL Drive presented by who, everybody? That's right. I love the car wash.
I know you do.
I go at least once a week.
Really?
I kind of like it.
So, do you like the one where you drive in?
Oh, I'm not driving. I'm getting out of my car.
Or you have to watch your car like it's
Yes.
on a little trolley and you're watching it from the window.
Yes,
I
it's
see.
like it's the way that like
I see.
like
You get out.
You know how like white women watch their dogs at doggy daycare?
Yeah.
On an app?
Oh, yeah.
That's as close as black men get with our cars.
If you're getting out the sponges and cloths for an at-home car wash, we've got some tips. Wash your car in the morning or early evening. Direct sunlight makes it dry too quickly. Use a little WD-40 to shine up your license plate and get rid of rust. And to wash away your worries, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
College controversy. A new $28 million luxury locker room. A library that's literally falling apart. And the social media outcry today. Then, rules of the road. Why being polite is actually making traffic worse. And that old summer love has a new name. The ins and outs of a situationship. When DBL returns.
Hi, DBL Nation. I just want you to know that I can't wait to open. There's a random box behind me. And if there's anything I love more in the world, it's unopened boxes with presents. And I know there's food in there. So I'm just going to be patient and talk about my next story. Secretly, I'm imagining what's inside that box. So my story is, I think everyone knows by now, I love space. So there's going to be another SpaceX Dragon launch coming up. And in this launch, I want Leo to pull up the photo, there is going to be slime, as in Nickelodeon slime, as in Get Slimed from Double Dare. And I'm very excited for this. And it's not just going to be slime to have slime in space. They're actually going to study it. They said they're going to record how slime moves in microgravity. And it will be used for educational purposes, not to mention slime in space. Looks very, very, very cool. So, if you had one object you could send in space just to see it floating or what would happen, let me know, because I didn't realize how much I love the idea of slime in space, and I'm gonna have to think about that. I want to send whatever in that box into space, because I really want to know. When can we open it again, Kelly?
In between shows with Shuby.
In between shows with Shuby. I'll probably be like lurking in the corner,
Yes,
even though I like live up there.
Come
You'll
join
just
me,
see,
we'll open it
like,
together.
A little head pop up from our monitors. I'm like, hello.
Yeah, we'll open it together, Rob.
Yes, we'll open together. Stay tuned, because you'll also find out what's in the box. All right, talk to you next break.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We are live, so let's get started. Louisiana State University just got a brand new $28 million football locker room. Players can take naps on seats that turn into beds. There are also iPad stands, charging stations, new offices, a training room, a players' lounge, and a cafeteria. While some people are very excited about the new space, LSU has been getting a lot of criticism online. One student tweeted out a photo of the library that's in shambles, asking why this money wasn't put toward a more deserving cause.
Yeah, apparently that student might want to stay in the library a little longer to understand how money works. It's always very tricky when you look in other people's wallets because that money is earmarked, and when money is earmarked for any university, that means that it must go exactly to the cause that it was donated to. Two of those donors donated $1 million apiece, and they used to be a part of the LSU program. I spoke to my mother, college professor, 26 years, head of the athletic board, Division I school, 3 college athletes. My mother was very clear about this. Yes, it does feel disheartening when you look at money, but money has a reason and a purpose. Therefore, when they go to a bowl game and they've gone to 5 and got $18.2 million in payouts, some of that money trickles into the university. But the money that we're talking about right now goes nowhere but the LSU football team.
Because it was earmarked for the football team.
It was earmarked specifically for it.
So that changes things. However, generally speaking, and this is coming from a Division I athlete who understands that the better your facilities are, the more motivated you're going to be. Not only that, as an athlete, it is proven you are more motivated when you have a better swimming pool, when you have a better football locker room, when you have a better football field. So I get that. But the same can be applied to a library. You know that students are going to be more scholastically motivated when they can enter a library and feel motivated to do their research. So generally speaking, I see why some students are completely, in your words, disheartened.
Do you think that this is just a number crunching thing, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Where they just like, I mean, we've been talking about Duke all year because of Zion Williamson. We haven't talked about their biochemistry department. We've talked about Zion Williamson. The only reason people know what Duke is or what any of these, Florida State, how do you Notre Dame? What do you know about those schools except for their football teams? Can you name one thing? It's just about the team, so they give the money where it gets the attention. And it's sad, but this is what it is. We wouldn't know any of these schools if it wasn't for their athletics.
Well, it's a numbers game. That's all it is. If you have a book sale at LSU, does the football team get part of that money? No. The football team's bringing in that money. They deserve to build up all their facilities however they want. First of all, the NCAA is about making money. Let's not forget, okay? Right. They have the best business model in the world, by the way, because they don't pay their employees.
Except for Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts have the best.
At least give them the best facilities possible. Give them the best training possible. Give them the best food possible, because they're not getting paid.
Agreed.
They are making a lot of money.
Agreed, but I would like to see alumni agree. And believe me, I donate alumni-wise athletically. I don't do it scholastically. But maybe I should rethink the way I donate and what other alumni should donate.
I don't know if you should say, but that swimming program had a positive impact on your life.
That swimming program made me who I am today.
Right.
I completely agree with that. I also am embarrassed to see certain universities have libraries that are in shambles.
Well, they should be embarrassed about that, not you. When it comes down to it, you're talking about money that is being put into an institution or into a program where they're not getting paid. Yeah. And let me tell you, as the sister of a college athlete, D1, and my mom and I have this conversation about it too, going to Costco or Sam's Club and bringing all that food and drink, and before we even leave the facility at the university, they've all ate and drank it all, giving my brother $100 a week because I was in college and that's all I could afford. And he's taking out all of his friends to McDonald's and has no money 2 days later because they cannot work. I want to see people have that same energy when these people are hobbling around, both my on-camera brother and my off-camera brother, with at least they have a degree, but at the same time, these kids need to be getting paid. So when you want to be really outraged about some things, be outraged about that, because no one's volunteering for CTE or volunteering to be hobbling around at 25 years old. But you want to talk about the fact that $28 million came in and they said it was for the football team, and you have your library situation. Find it elsewhere.
Yeah, but you're charging each student $500,000 in debt each year. You can't find a couple bucks out of there to make a library. That's their problem.
I don't think it should be either or, is my point. I don't think,
ideally.
I don't think it should be either or. That is my point. All right, a Big Brother house guest is getting called out online for his comments that some say are racist. Jack Matthews made a joke on the live stream this week while talking about another house guest, Isabella Wang, who is Asian. Watch.
How could that even be an argument when you just look at the proof is in the pudding? Like
the rice pudding.
CBS has not commented on the incident. I got to go to you, Jeff. You know, many of our viewers, of course, know your history with Big Brother. What is Big Brother going to do? How are they going to handle this, considering what you know?
That's a really good question.
You know, I don't know if it's on Big Brother. Big Brother gives you the temperature of what America is like. And sadly, this is what America is like, whether you like it or not. If you're on social media or you're on TV or you're watching right now and you're telling me you've never made an off-color joke, I would tell you to your face you're lying. Okay, that's number one. I'm always going to stick up for the house guests. I don't respect what they do. I never say, hey, this is a great thing, because it's not. I'm not condoning what he said. It's terrible. But I do want to put on display what they go through in the house. Nobody on this planet could understand unless you've been in that situation.
Because it's 24 hours a day.
I've been in there twice. Put your life under. There is no show like this on television. Put your life under a magnifying glass for 3 months. And tell me you're not going to slip up one time. It's impossible.
And it's not just an hour a day. It's 20, right? People can watch the, say that. Some
you
people
can watch the show live 24/7. CBS could choose not to show this, not condone that. Of course, before you go on, you do not condone anything that the house guests do, but you can't prevent them from what they say. I've said terrible things on there. I've apologized multiple times for things I've said. I still face backlash for things that I've done on that show. I'm never going to live it down. The only thing I can do is learn from it and make myself a better person.
That's the right attitude.
I'll always stick up for these house guests because I want them to learn the mistakes that they made by the outlash or the outcry that fans give back at the end of the season. I want them to take for the rest of their lives that what I said was wrong. What I did was wrong. I want to learn from that experience, and I think everybody needs to check themselves and learn from experiences in their lives.
Jeff, really quick viewer question. I know we got to move. Is the live stream, is there a delay or anything?
No.
So whatever you say goes right out on TV?
Boom.
Wow.
Well, if you have the attitude that if every one of them has the same attitude as you, that listen, I'm here to be a better person. If I do something wrong and I'm going to call myself out on it, then that's refreshing. I just hope that they can follow your suit. Did I say that right? Follow your suit?
Follow your lead.
Follow your lead.
Yeah.
See? Almost had it.
That was close.
All right.
I like the compliment, though.
Thank
I got it.
Okay.
And Jeff has a nice suit on, so you might want to follow that.
It's a little tight. It's a little snug.
But you're in good shape, so you got it.
They're gonna be like, look at Big Jeff, how fat he got.
No. All right. Well, Lifetime is working on some new projects ripped straight from the headlines. Raquel Villanueva has those details at this moment.
That's right, Sam. Lifetime is working on a new movie, and the title says it all. It's called College Admission Scandal. Now, they don't directly say it's about Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, but it is described as two wealthy moms who will do anything to get their kids into college. You can catch the 2-hour film this fall. Also in the works, a follow-up docu-series called Surviving R. Kelly: The Aftermath. R. Kelly is behind bars right now, and many people credit the original series for making it happen. There's also a new series planned too, Surviving Jeffrey Epstein. It will look into the allegations made against the New York businessman.
Ooh, you know I love me a Lifetime movie, Raquel. Thank you. Polite drivers are the ones holding up traffic. Interesting. Many experts say that makes things worse than the drivers who cut in to jump ahead. AAA recommends the zipper approach to merging. The Colorado Department of Transportation says it can actually reduce delays up to 40%. Erica, you're shaking your head, girl.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago I came back and I was telling Jeff that a woman in front of me was stopping at every street. We were in a residential neighborhood near my house, even when there wasn't a stop sign. And as a result, and I wasn't in a hurry, so I didn't honk or anything, but as a result, she decided to turn, and the car that was coming this way assumed that I had a stop sign, which I didn't. So I proceeded to go and almost got T-boned. And you don't think about that because you're like, oh, well, you know, she's just driving slow and that can't be dangerous. That's very dangerous. You need to obey the rules of the road.
It gives mixed signals.
Right.
You're absolutely right. Wow, I didn't even know that. First of all, I didn't even know that that's the approach that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to do that zipper approach. Most people think that you're supposed to wait in that long line, but I'm going right to the front now.
Do you let people in if they try the zipper approach?
I really do. Always.
Oh, really?
Because I want to.
Don't try to zipper approach with me.
But that's the right way to do it.
I don't care.
So wait, you're the one that speeds up?
Oh, yeah, you're not getting in. If I'm waiting in line and you come zippering in, you're not getting in.
Aw, Jeff.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And by the way, since we're on traffic things, because I get all fired up, if you're at a green light and it turns yellow and you don't turn left and I'm behind you, you should get your license revoked.
What, if you're in the middle of the intersection?
Yeah, thank you. I got
Joel. You had one. You had your friend Joel clap for
Michael
you.
Dean clapped as well. Thank you, Michael Dean. Thank you,
All
Joel.
right, okay. Have you ever been in a situationship? It's yet another new dating term. That means having a romantic connection that, in most cases, serves a short-term need in one or both partners, but may or may not evolve into something more stable or meaningful. Situationship.
Why do you need something meaningful all the time?
Right. Sometimes you don't.
Isn't this like a 2019 word for fling?
Right.
It's just like everything does not. This is a Romeo and Juliet where everything's got to end up with you on bended knee. Sometimes you just have a really wild 4 days in Vegas and you take whatever name that they gave you and you leave.
Yeah,
I think that's fine too.
Situationship.
See, that's
right. Yeah, because Anthony.
Were you open to that situationship becoming love, or did it surprise you?
I think it was a little bit of a surprise, but I think we were both open, clearly. But it was very much a situationship because his visa was expiring.
Erica, what was the moment where, like,
moving back to Canada?
What was the moment where you were just like, okay, this is going from fun to like, wait a second?
Probably halfway into because there was a cap date. It was 6 months.
Right.
So probably about 3 months in, we were like, oh, huh.
I love that. And I always think of Danny and Sandy with their situationship from Greece. Their summer lovin'. That was a situationship.
Why are you looking at me like I would have any idea who those two people are?
Right? You love Danny Zuko.
Sandy. Yeah, I love that movie.
That's such a good movie.
It doesn't take you out of it that they're all 50 in that movie?
No,
it's so weird.
Don't ruin it with semantics.
Stop. Yeah. Coming up on DBL, meet the longest-serving Waffle House employee who continues to make customers smile, why she doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon. And you'll never guess what Forever 21 sent with its online orders. Let's just say it was a not-so-subtle suggestion to lose weight.
Ask somebody if they've what plastic surgery they've had done. Okay?
That's a good question.
So, and then the second one is the Forever 21 story. We got Forever 21's response.
Okay.
So the response from the company is that they put that they had a third-party partnership with
and everybody got it.
That's honestly what I thought.
Yes.
So they've pulled it. So we have their response.
Every package got it.
Every plus size package or every?
Well, every plus size package, but also every package.
Is Sam allowed to do the product placement while we're doing?
Yeah, they sent these to us today.
So
thank you, Lay's. Lay's sent these to us today, so thank you.
Where's mine?
The question we're asking for that is, what would your response be if you got it? Not just what do you think, was it body shaming, but what would your response be if you got something?
And I mean, but if they do have a product like that and you're sending out free products, if I'm standing on the street corner, well, I guess we'll talk about this, but if I'm handing them out on the street corner to everyone.
So if someone is overweight, you're going to pull it
so
back.
we have a megaphone for each, Sam?
Weird.
So just check back with the megaphone.
Are
Thanks,
you not
everybody.
allowed to have a product that markets?
I would be happy. Well, I guess we're going to talk about you, right? But I'd be happy just to get a free candy bar.
What if you had like a gym membership for a free 7-day trial?
But who isn't like? I'm not even talking about overweight. I'm just talking about in general. Every day. It doesn't.
Sam is
you might
eating
not
like a
think
hostage
it,
right now.
but I struggle with my weight
Falling
every
out of
day.
your mouth.
You know what I mean? You struggle with your weight, not struggle, but you think about it. You're conscious. You go work out. I work out. I think about what I eat. So if I was offered a new product, and I'm like, wow, this is half the calories of what I'm trying to do right now, and it really tastes great. I wouldn't be offended. I'd be happy that they
It's
send
not a
me.
new product though. It's a product that's associated with weight loss. It's like a slim
But isn't
fast.
everybody kind of like? Why would you, if you don't like it, just throw it away? I
Yeah,
don't
but
understand.
I
like,
think if
Every
you're
product really is. It's like trying to market towards health now.
I think
but
so.
health is different than weight loss. Atkins is synonymous with Atkins diet, which is synonymous with weight loss. So I would understand a plus size person might feel like.
Welcome back to DBL. Today there are 2 stories trending that have to do with body shaming, and we want to hear your opinions on each. Head to dblvote.com to join the conversation. So last night on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion show, the ladies got upset when Andy Cohen asks the viewer question, quote, "What work have you had done since last season?" Check out the ladies' response.
I hate it when people say, "What work have you had done?" What work have you had done?
It's one thing if you say, "Oh my, Erica, your skin
You look
looks
refreshed.
amazing."
Can you tell me what are you
like,
doing
is there
for that?
anything I need to
Instead
do?
of what work have you had done?
Or instead
and then judging you because you had it. Oh, if I had a nose job, I bet I'd look like that too. Well, then go get one.
So head over to dblvote.com. Let us know, is it ever okay to ask someone what work have you had done? You're referring to Erica Jane. She is quite the everything, right, Erica? We both love her.
Yes.
What would you say to this? Is it ever okay to ask somebody if they've had work done?
Wait, hold on. I'm going to ask her, and you respond in real time. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, Erica, you looking good. Have you had some work done?
Thanks. I know I say that it's natural, like I woke up like this, but I woke up like this after dermaplane, laser genesis twice a month, after I have my eyebrows tattooed, and every 2 weeks I get my lashes done. Yeah, so I'm naturally like this.
So, but you have no problem with someone asking you that?
No. Oh, and my teeth. Yeah, because people, I think it's really unfair, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, when you say, oh yeah, I'm doing all of these things, but you don't say that you're getting help along the way, and I'm getting help along the way. And I think you should be honest about that, so you don't have little girls buying $2 products thinking that they're gonna get a dermaplane glow. It's not gonna happen.
Especially when it comes to people that have a platform.
Do you think it's just nobody's business?
I think, listen, I would never ask somebody that. I would not. So yes,
Not even your closest friend.
Yeah, I would have those conversations with my girlfriend.
Let me ask you this: if you were, I agree.
But I think Erica's point about responsibility to the youth is more important than that.
I agree with what you're saying. I would never ask anybody either. But what if you were really looking into like getting Botox or your eyes done, and you're like, and you think you see somebody who got their eyes done? I'm just using an example, and you're like, hey, do you mind if I ask you because I'm looking into it as well?
That's totally fine.
Do you think that's different?
I think it's totally fine. It's also how you say it. Some people will say it in a very snarky way, right, Erica? We've all been there. And other people will say it because it's inquisitive or complimentary, or maybe they want to go get something done.
Right.
So I think it's always in how you say it, not what you say. All right, let's see what our final vote is. 81% of you say yes. Is it ever okay to ask someone what work you have had done? All right. Well, the popular fashion retailer Forever 21 is being called out for body shaming. Social media exploded with photos of Atkins diet bars included in orders for plus-sized clothing. Miss Girl Game asks, what are you trying to tell me, Forever 21? I'm fat, lose weight. Do you give these to non-plus size women as well? And Forever 21 has responded. The freebie items in question were included in all online orders across all sizes and categories. This was an oversight on our part, and we sincerely apologize for any offense. So, DBL Nation, head to dblvote.com. Let us know what you think. How would you react to getting a diet bar with your order? What do you think?
Is it a diet bar?
I think Atkins is synonymous with losing weight, in my opinion.
I just see it being a low-carb diet. I just want to know if it's gluten-free because I'm having a heck of a time.
Oh, yes.
Seriously.
See, I would be like, bonus, I got a bar in my thing. I wouldn't be offended at all.
I think it's, you know, obviously women more than men have been fat shamed since the beginning of time, especially since we've been marketing products towards people. So I understand where this comes from, but I think we have to worry about like getting into like just attacking a company that really didn't do anything wrong because they did include it in all orders. Am I correct in that?
Yes, maybe there should be a little note, like to all our Forever 21 customers, you know, we partnered with Atkins.
I think there will be now. I think there will be now.
Yeah, because
but I don't think that there was any malice behind
this. I don't think
this.
there's any malice, but I can understand because Atkins diet, just like Slim Fast diet, Weight Watchers diet is synonymous with losing weight, somebody could immediately think that they were shamed.
But I think if you just put a regular candy bar in there, we'd be having the same conversation.
Possibly.
I have a blood sugar problem. Why are you sending me sugar? You know what I mean? I think people find a way to complain about anything. This is a free product. If you don't like it, throw it away. It's a free product.
That's what our 58% sweet, a snack. 58% of you see it as like bonus. All right, we will be right back.
Ice-T, welcome to Daily Blast Live. How you feeling this morning?
What's up, Al? What's happening, baby? I'm good.
How does somebody go from releasing the first hip-hop album with the parental advisory warning sticker to now playing a hard-nosed detective on SVU?
I have no idea. I mean, this is the furthest away from my life that I thought. I mean, you got to remember, before I started making those records, I thought I was just going to be in the streets my whole life. I thought, you know, my life was going to be some arch criminal that was always going to, you know, be one step ahead of the cops. Now here I am later on in life playing the police. I can say I had a lot of experience dealing with the police firsthand, but, you know, I mean, that's where one of my mottos come in. I say you don't guide life, you ride life.
We've been talking about SVU, obviously, and I'm about to say this, but I can't believe it, but I guess it does make sense. The show's been on for 20 seasons. Will there be a 21st season, and are you just going to ride this out until it ends?
Yeah, I'm black. I don't jump off a ship while it's still floating, Jack. You dig? I'm going to be on it till the wheels fall off. I mean, if we get one more, we haven't been officially picked up, but when we do get picked up, we'll stay positive. We will have broken the longest running television show drama in history of television.
Now, one of my favorite parts of SVU is your friendship with Mariska Hargitay, or Detective Olivia Benson, as everybody knows her. Can you tell us one surprising fact about her that our fans like me wouldn't know?
Mariska's real crazy. Like, you know, I mean, she acts real tough on the show, but she's funny. She loves to act like she can rap. She dances around. She could be a comedian.
Your true crime show, In Ice Cold Blood, is back for a second season. Tell me, what got you into true crime? Because for real, it was my girl. Like, that's what you do on in the afternoons on the Sunday is just watch City Confidential straight. So how did you get into it?
Absolutely the same way. Coco was, I'm not lying.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Hard Threads is all about a legendary Waffle House waitress. Watch the special bond she has with her customers, working at the restaurant for over 50 years.
This woman has been serving Waffle House customers for nearly 50 years. 85-year-old Doris Seabolt is the longest-serving Waffle House employee. She left truck driving for waitressing in 1971. Over the years, she's developed a special bond with her customers.
99% of them I know by name.
And the customers give the love right back.
I was basically Doris for Halloween one year. First time I waited on her, she was 9.5 months old.
She tried to retire in 1995, but the Waffle House CEO begged her to come back. Soon, Doris will be celebrating 50 years at Waffle House, and she's not planning on leaving.
No, I love it a whole lot. A whole lot. Have a great day.
Waffle House has the nicest employees across the country. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? What a Waffle House piece. That lady has been working at Waffle House for more than 50 years. Mike, are you okay? Mike just almost tripped, but we look out for each other. We look out for each other here. All good, all good. But we were just talking about Waffle House and how a lot of people here were saying that they tip extra or tip double to their Waffle House waitresses and all, because I swear they're the nicest people in the world. And they work really hard. All-star special with scrambled eggs, hash browns, and extra bacon. That's what we're talking about here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on Texas toast, hash browns scattered, smothered, covered.
Sounds like a lot.
I'm a Southern girl. I know
Sounds like a lot.
House.
All right, let's get to some of you all's comments on the day. We've been talking about a lot of stuff. This iPad's not working with the comments. But the college football locker room. Kelly, you went to CU, Sko Buffs. How do you feel about that locker room now, knowing that that money was given to the football team?
Have you seen that locker room?
Only to the football team. No, I haven't seen it.
It's incredible. It was actually just renovated probably about 5 years ago, and I know they spent a pretty penny on that renovation. That's 100% fair. I want my football team to win, so let's throw some money in there. But we also have a really nice library and everything else too, so I can't really. Why do I still have my jacket on? I'm sorry, it's cold in here.
The library just looks like that. They're probably showing some part that's maybe a little run down.
I agree, but even so, if a part of the library looks like that, like let's get it fixed at least.
What are you doing with all the tuition money?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Use it
fix
for
yourself.
the library. Yeah.
If there was no football team,
I totally
we'd
agree.
still be in the same position.
I don't know why people are up in arms about this. The football team, if they're good, they're only going to bring in more money for this
and the school is benefiting from the football team. It's not like they take all their money and keep it. The school's benefiting as well.
Exactly,
but I do want to
100%.
give you a psychological component to
Okay.
it. The players feel better, which means you play better. Like you have better jerseys, you play
Totally,
better. Iowa
100%.
is notorious. I don't know if they still have it, but Iowa University visitors' locker rooms used to paint it pink. Everything pink. The walls, the lockers,
throw you
the
off?
bathroom, so you feel less masculine. This was a tactic, a psychological tactic. They had it. So all their sports, they went in there and everything was pink. So
Even
you
if
felt
it's not,
it was
even
a
if it's not less
psychological.
masculine, it's still like distracting. Everything's pink. It would be distracting in itself.
But they said that's what it's for,
That's
to feel less
crazy.
masculine.
What a good idea.
Someone was telling me at Florida,
That's
when you
insane.
play at the Swamp and you're in the visitor section,
Yeah.
you're underneath, I believe, one of the most rowdiest sections. So the people are sitting there stomping while you're in the locker
It's a
room.
tactic-
And you can
it's a
feel
tactic.
You're 18
Psychological.
years old and you're about to play in front of 80,000
Yeah,
people.
and you're
as
hearing
getting
those
ready, you're hearing
songs.
that. It's a tactic.
That's crazy.
And plus, go look
I
at
love hearing these little nuggets.
Clemson's Performance Center. They have a slide that goes down from the coach's office
Yep.
down to the first
Yeah, like
floor.
go look at our green room. It's like 6 by 8. I mean, feel a lot better about being on the show after you're in our green room.
Where's our donation?
Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, we want to give a big DBL shout out to Bindi Irwin. She's the daughter of the late Steve Irwin. Now she's engaged to Chandler Powell. He proposed on her 21st birthday and posted these photos saying, close to 6 years ago, I fell in love with you, and every day since has been a whirlwind of adventure and true happiness. And the wonderful young lady who does her hair here, Coco, she just went to where I guess it's kind of like their
zoo.
Is it a zoo?
They work that, yeah.
Yeah, but they both work there. So
They had a TV show about it.
The two of them, the fiancés, I can now call them.
Oh, you mean the fiancé works
Yeah, they
there as well.
work
That's what they
together,
meant.
which is so cute too.
Yeah.
So I think that's so special. I didn't understand that they work together as well. They're like
It's got to be
little
hard
match made
because,
in heaven.
I mean, even if I met them, I would just, the first thing out of my mouth would be like, man, I loved your dad so much. So they have to hear it like all the time. I wonder if that makes them miss him more or just appreciate.
feel proud.
I think it'd be great.
I feel proud.
Somebody said that about my dad all the time. I would love that.
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
guess
thing.
so. I guess
Well,
so.
congrats to them.
Yeah, congrats to her.
So cute. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your Wednesday. Stay safe out there. Bye, guys.
Give a happy hump day.
It's time for Between the Show with Shuby and Raquel. Yay! So Raquel is dying to know what's in this box, and it's actually a really cool promotion we have from Lay's right now. So let's open it up. So it has a mirror in it, Raquel. So what they want you to do,
Just see me
hey,
eat
Chris,
too
do you
many
mind
bags
opening this
and
up
be
for us?
shamed.
They want you to, yes, so put this smile and see what your face looks like with that smile. Can you see it, Travis? What do you think?
Really creepy.
Try this one. Turn to the camera, show the camera what you look like. Let me see this smile. So, this is all part of promotion to make other people smile. Derek Huff, he's actually an actor, Dancing with the Stars. You've seen him on a lot of things. He's actually promoting this, and look.
I actually like this one better.
It even came with a little camera, too. So I can take a picture of you. Really cool. So thank you, Lay's, for sending this to us.
An actual camera?
Yeah, it's an actual camera, and it prints out on the side. It's really cool. So yeah, Derek Huff is going around the country and getting people to spread smiles. So we think it's a really cool idea. Let us know how you make people smile. Do you tell jokes? What do you do?
Do you hold up a bag to your face and hope for the best?
Rob's just coming over to see what kind of chips we have because he can't wait for us to open them. But anyway, Lay's, thank you so much for sending this to us as always, and we can't wait to spread more smiles. Bye.
Got it.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Sure. I don't care. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, July 24th. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al. I'm Sam. Let's get right into it. Former special counsel Robert Mueller is testifying before lawmakers, and because we are live, you are looking at his testimony before the House Intelligence Committee happening right now. Let's listen in.
Around WikiLeaks releases of materials that were stolen from the Democratic National Committee, correct?
Is that from the report?
Yes. It's according to Mr. Gates.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And you also talked earlier
And
about
earlier today,
the
Mueller
finding in
spoke
your
before the Judiciary Committee about whether or not the president obstructed justice. Take a listen to what he said.
And what about total exoneration? Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
And your investigation actually found, quote, multiple acts by the president that were capable of exerting undue influence over law enforcement investigations, including the Russian interference and obstruction investigations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it correct that if you had concluded that the president committed the crime of obstruction, you could not publicly state that in your report or here today?
The statement would be that you would not indict, and you would not indict because, under the OLC opinion, a sitting president, excuse me, cannot be indicted.
Meantime, Republicans grilled Mueller on his decision to not charge the man behind the alleged dirty dossier, Christopher Steele.
Director Mueller, can you state with confidence that the Steele dossier was not part of Russia's disinformation campaign?
No, as I said in my opening statement, that part of the building of the case predated me, and by at least 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Manafort's alleged crimes regarding tax evasion predated you. You had no problem charging them. And matter of fact, this Steele dossier predated the Attorney General, and he didn't have any problem answering the question.
The president has been tweeting about it today, including this, saying, quote, no collusion, no obstruction. This isn't the first time that he tweeted this, Tory. This isn't the first time that Robert Mueller said, no, I do not exonerate you. We saw it in the report. So what has changed, if anything at all?
There's two pieces of news I can give you. One, let's just say it all out loud. We're a little tired of this. I can even agree with you, Jeff. I know you are.
I appreciate that.
Anytime,
There
buddy.
we go.
I also have to say that Mueller, I'm disappointed in Mueller. He came across as, and many people are saying this, flustered, ill-prepared, not confident. This is his 90th time in front of Congress. He should have known how to speak. He's testified. He's the head of the FBI. He really, I think, we needed an adult in the room, and he didn't really give us that.
Maybe he's sick and tired of people twisting his report to fit their narrative.
Then he needs to act like the commandant in the room. He felt like he didn't have command of the situation, to be super honest with you. And I love Mueller and what he did, but I don't think he came across as very confident. I don't think that's helpful. And the one thing that he did say that was kind of interesting is two things. One, you can prosecute Trump after he gets out of office. That was sort of a big news thing we heard. And number two is Schiff, Adam Schiff. He just spoke. We didn't get a SOT, but this is what he said. Trump and his campaign welcomed and encouraged Russian interference. Mueller, yes. And then Trump and his campaign lied about it to cover it up. Mueller, yes.
Okay, so why aren't we outraged? Again, take your political affiliation, throw it at the door. I don't care. If this were Hillary Clinton, if this were Barack Obama, if this is Trump, I want our officials to be held accountable. These are the highest ranked officials in the USA, in the world, you could argue.
Powerful.
Why don't we actually care?
So, and he started with this in volume 1, page 1. We find that the Department of Justice holds a policy. You can't indict a sitting president. So all of this is to say is, Congress, this is on you now. If you're going to impeach, I just gave you the reason.
I'm so sick and tired of the loopholes. I'm so sick and tired of the drawn out. Because if it were me, I'd be
checked out.
Checked out. I'd be locked up. You would face consequences. You would face consequences. Every constituent that's voting would have to face consequences. But the people that we vote into office don't have to face diddly squat. No, they don't.
Well,
no, they don't.
Impeachment is on the table.
Do you think he's going to be?
No, they don't.
I don't.
I don't think so either. I feel like the government's chasing its tail like they always do. And if we're going to look this much into something like this, why don't we look into the government with their insider trading? Why don't we look into the government on how much our NRA decides our politics, how much big tobacco decides our politics? Why are we 20 years ago have a surplus in our national income, but now we're $22 trillion in debt? Why don't we get a little dossier on what's going on with our spending?
I agree with you on all of that.
You know what I mean? I'm not directing it towards you. I'm just saying, in general, maybe we should do a little research on what's going on there.
But just because this is long and confusing doesn't mean we shouldn't challenge things that challenge our own democracy. Because if this is true about Russia, and he's saying it is, we absolutely need to challenge that. It just didn't come across very strong today.
Yeah, that was a good point, though, because I did want to give you a point there. Because I was like, Robert Mueller, maybe it's hard to talk in front of all those people, but if you're saying he did it 90 times, I wanted to give you a point, too.
Thank you.
Did everyone see that? Passing out points.
She gave me a high five in the beginning,
I know,
and I appreciate
that.
Anytime you bash politics, I'm in.
But chime in, DBL Nation, we do want to hear from you as well. Well, we got some shocking video just into the studio. A warning to our viewers, this is graphic content. A bison charged a 9-year-old girl in Yellowstone National Park, and video posted to Twitter shows the attack. 2 adults run away while the bison rams into the girl, sends her flying into the air. You're going to see it right here. Don't worry, she was not seriously injured, but park officials are warning visitors to stay at least 25 yards away from large animals. Al Jackson, not only do officials say that, there are signs all over the park. Witnesses say that this family, including other people, were within 5 feet of that bison, and that very family, according to witnesses, were petting the bison. This is a wild animal. I have no sympathy. I'm glad the girl's okay, but come on.
Obviously I wasn't an adult in the 60s and 70s, but I feel like there were more adults. I feel like
common sense. Common
sense. I mean grown-ups. I feel like when men and women, they graduated high school, they got a job. Your dad was like a dude at like 20. He already had a mortgage. He was going to work at GM for 30 years.
Most of them were already drafted into the war at 18.
They were like already.
But
now
people
I feel
died
like
20 years earlier.
Yes, I'm saying now I feel like everybody is in this kind of just coalesced adolescence where they're just staying I want to get likes on Instagram. Imagine your grandfather saying that. People are dying at the top of Mount Everest for this. People are falling off the side of the Grand Canyon for this. People are leaving their daughter alone so they can probably go get an Instagram to get 58 likes. There's no way that my grandfather would have left me alone, or Otha Jackson would have left me alone with a bison wandering around 10 feet. It's
He's right.
It's like
it sounds funny.
It's like everybody's like a 14-year-old
It's the
now.
coddling of our society. That's exactly the result.
How does that
of this.
even happen?
Dude, Darwinism at its best. Right there.
Infantilizing our generation. We all become stunted at age 18 because we're all on social media and we're all stuck in that age of I need likes, I need this, and no one's grown up.
The fact that
I think you're giving people way too much credit. I think it's a lower age
14?
than that. Yeah.
The fact that nobody went and tried to scoop up that girl and everybody was in it for themselves is absolutely disgusting to me. It's beyond
Our DBL
me.
Nation wrote in, why is no one going after for the girl?
That camera's holding pretty steady.
Yeah,
good call.
I'm really happy that little girl
You know what? I
is
didn't
okay.
even think about that. The person wasn't even
running.
They were just like, let me get this shot. Oh, that little girl just went flying 20 feet in the air. I got it. Are you out of your mind?
Why are you running?
Yeah. Yep. All right. We have an update on a situation we told you about earlier. A Pennsylvania school district had sent letters to parents threatening to take away their kids if they failed to pay their lunch debt. Can you imagine if that happened to you as a parent? A coffee company executive offered to pay off the $22,000 collective debt, but the district reportedly said no thanks. Instead, officials are planning other ways to collect the debt, including putting liens on properties. Al Jackson, clearly this isn't about collecting debt for this school district. It's about shaming a class of people.
It's our hatred of poor people.
Yep.
Just like I said, this just proves my point. I mean, they could have the money, they don't want it. They're like, no, let's really go after these people, because when people are down, we want to stomp on their neck and really just let them know, we don't like you here. We don't want you here. We'll take your kids from you because you're not a real human being. You couldn't actually form any emotional bond with them because you guys are animals. And this is what they're doing. They're just treating these people probably worse than you, because, you know, if a puppy has a litter, you'll try and keep a couple puppies together, but they don't even try and do that here.
It's true.
Over some nuggets.
Todd Carmichael is the owner of La Colombe, I hope I'm saying that right, coffee in Philadelphia.
It doesn't sound like you are.
I'm not. I'm probably not. But he was poor growing up, and he had to get help getting his school lunches. So he said, yo, I'll pay all $22,000 here.
What a generous man.
Right? And so I wrote him on Facebook, and I've written also the superintendent being like, can I get a quote? I just don't understand. And what he gave the newspaper is, I have no concept of why they wouldn't have accepted my money.
Well, we know why. I think Al said it best. And
there's no other reason.
Just remember, superintendents are elected officials, so the power is in you to elect the people that you feel best represents everybody. So, what a shame. How embarrassing. DBL's live. Coming up, a university's brand new multi-million-dollar locker room is ruffling some feathers. One look at the school's library, you can see why. Plus, our movie expert talks all about Quentin Tarantino's latest flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is it worth your money? And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. You're looking at a live shot from Washington, D.C., where Robert Mueller is testifying right now. We're sharing your DBL take about what's going on coming up next.
So you're writing in, many of you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
In regard to the Bison. Ellis Walker, well, after seeing the video, I would say get the girl and get the heck out of there. Yeah, again, no one's blaming the little girl. We're blaming the parents. And the fact that nobody thought to quickly grab their daughter before they decide to run away is just, as a parent, you're always thinking about your kid first, always. And I have to just reiterate, when you go into Yellowstone, there are signs everywhere. If, stay, 25 yards away from bison. It'll even get into specifics. They'll say 100 yards away from bears. Wow. So they are specific. They drive it home because they know that wild animals are wild, and if you get too close to them, that you're going to increase your risk of being attacked by them. And people have just lost their common sense.
We live in a society of pushing the edge and challenging authority every day. Every day, authority is challenged, whether it's the police
I don't care about that sign.
Or whether it's a sign at Yellowstone. And then when you do something and the authorities turn out to be right, Who's at fault now?
Now, do you think that's excuse me, I'm eating chips. I'm going to be honest, I'm starving. Do you think, I'm sorry.
We couldn't put the two together.
I'm sorry. Do you think that's an American thing or a human thing?
I think it's a thing that evolved the last 20 years in our country.
So you think it's an American thing? Because
I think because of social media, everyone thinks they have a voice and they can challenge everything they want now. And I think that trickles over into their regular life. We just did the story about the whitewater rafters. Don't go down this. Oh, you know what? That doesn't apply to me because I'm going to challenge authority again. I'm better than somebody else. You're not. Authority is there for a reason. You have to listen to them and abide by their rules.
But sometimes you could see that authority can go past its way it should.
Listen, in a very slim circumstances, correct. But that's the way everyone thinks. Everyone's like, well, I could do this. This is slim. No, it's not. Listen to police officers. Listen to Yellowstone officers. Listen to people that have been there and done that. They're doing it for your protection, not to shame you, not to degrade you, not to minimalize you. They're doing it to help you. And that's what I think we're lost in this country.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host. When we talk about what you're talking about, we are live, and you are watching the Mueller testimony happening right now in Washington, D.C. He's addressing the House Intelligence Committee after being called by the Judiciary Committee. Democrats are focusing on the obstruction of justice documented in his report, while Republicans are raising questions about the FBI's investigation into Trump's team. So, DBL Nation, we got to hear from you on this one. What is your take on Mueller's testimony before Congress? It's happening right now. Chime in.
All right, Sam, let's get right to this. Anna from YouTube says there's no reason to bring charges against our president. Anna, I think that's what these investigations are for. We want to prove whether there were or were not reasons to do that. And it looks like we still don't have an answer. So we'll just continue.
If people are confused, we kind of do have an answer, right? He told Schiff what we now hear is that it's up to Congress to impeach or not. There is impeachable offenses. It's up to them. That's what we know, and we can take that and be confident with that. Kay from YouTube says maybe Trump will be charged when he's no longer in office.
What do you think about that, Tori?
Okay, so Kay, I really appreciate you writing in. This was sort of a surprise when Mueller said that this morning. He said it to Congressman Buck, and Buck repeated the question, are you saying he can be charged outside of office? Many legal scholars believe in something called absolute immunity or executive privilege, that the president, because he has to do so many things for the national security, is protected from anything, that you can't basically indict him at all, even after his presidency. So this one was a new one for me. I have to look into it, but a lot of legal scholars say that's not exactly 100% accurate.
And for context to our viewers, Buck is a conservative Republican.
Exactly.
Which makes that question and answer even more.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right.
Karen from Facebook says Mueller is lying once again. The Democrats need to be done with this witch hunt and quit wasting taxpayers' money. Karen, I mean, I don't know. I think they're kind of just, everyone's chasing their tail at this point. I don't think anything's going to come of it.
And just so you know, he did ask, is this a witch hunt? Congressman Schiff just asked that about 10 minutes ago.
And what was Mueller's response?
Mueller's response was no. And he said, is this a hoax? And he responded, no. So that question was given to Mueller.
Okay. I'm pumped we're doing 2 segments about it. You go, Sam.
Sharon from Facebook says it would be real nice if the Republicans would stop attacking and not talk so fast and so much. They don't give Mueller a chance to answer any of their questions. I have to revert back to Tori because she's been watching this through the breaks. Anytime that you have a moment, what do you think about that?
To be honest, he isn't answering a lot. He's saying I can't answer or repeat that. But again, I have to be honest here. Not the best performance. A lot of stuttering, a lot of asking. He's taking up a lot of time. They've asked him repeatedly to speak into the mic. He's a reluctant witness who clearly doesn't want to be there. So he is not giving up a lot.
Did you DVR this?
Maybe.
That's your turn now.
Dude,
as you stare into the camera.
What the heck, Al?
You know what? The politics, he's just zoning out. That's what's going on.
I was really sitting here like, did she really DVR that? I promise. I was like, she probably did. Okay, Vanessa from Facebook says every politician that is crooked, and that every politician is crooked, and that's why they're allowing Trump to run amok. This kind of goes to what you were saying, Jeff.
Everyone's protecting
I mean, it's just sad
that
this is what we've come to expect from our politicians. I hope we get to a point where we stop bickering with each other and just elect people that actually do work for us.
For the people.
That is a crazy.
That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
When it was like boring, boring when politics, I know you think it's always boring, but when it wasn't a big deal every day in our lead story, I just want it back to being boring.
Remember like when you didn't know who the Attorney General was?
Yes.
Like you just were like, now it's like I know too much.
You know when people are like, those were the days and no one really pinpoints it? You just pinpointed it.
Coming up on DBL, are we being too polite on the roads? We'll tell you why good behavior is actually causing all that congestion. Plus,
it's official, old buddy. I'm a has-been.
oh, Leo, you're never a has-been in our hearts. The critics are loving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but will you? We'll get one movie pro's DBL take coming up next.
Welcome back, DBL Nation. We're here with Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and you might recognize this beautiful young lady, Miss Stephanie Jones, with me today. Today, we're bringing you some brand new beauty tips on how you can be slaying the summer all year long. It doesn't just have to stop for summer, guys. It can go all year, and you can keep doing these looks that slay. All right. So to start off today, I'm actually gonna be showing you guys a quick way to involve neon color into a beautiful look. As you can see, Steph is slaying already. But maybe Steph just wants to like do a little something different, be cute. You know, she's always cute, but you know, be outside of her little box. And that's where the Fenty Beauty liquid liners come into play beautifully. Now these guys come in pairs of 3s. I got one with yellow, pink, and white in it. And I thought with our yellow theme that we were already doing, might as well show off that yellow. So how would you use these? I can tell you exactly that. Now, my favorite way to use these guys is actually using dots. This is a great way without having to have too much precision or too much handwork. You can truly just use the little dots to actually guide your look. So, Steph, I'm gonna have you close, Bill. And for this look, I'm gonna gently just apply 3 dots from the end of the eye. So 1, 2, and maybe one more right in the middle. Let's try that one more time. 3. And this, so subtle, yet so cute. Now, if you want to add one more, you could actually go ahead and take one, go ahead and open and look straight up, perfect. Right in the inner corner of the eye. Now, this looks a little different. However, what it does is actually help to guide the eye up and out and brighten the eye in the inner corner as well. Now, you can always do graphic liner and all that jazz, but some of us have a little bit more of a shaky hand. So this is a great way to create a beautiful look that still slays, but doesn't take too much time. Am I right? Okay, girl. Now that's gonna be all for us for this time, you guys, but check us out for next Beauty Blast, where we'll be uncovering if the stash is coming back around. I don't know if you're ready for that. Ooh.
Welcome back to DBL. Some of summer's biggest movies premiere this month, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Entertainment correspondent Maude Garrett teamed up with the streaming site Tubi to give us a preview, so check it out.
If you're looking for a critically acclaimed film to watch, both in the theaters and free on Tubi TV, I've got your recommendations here. Everyone's talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Put it there. That's your son? No, that's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
It's Quentin Tarantino's 9th film. He is bringing it here with an all-star cast. I'm talking Leonardo DiCaprio in his first film in 4 years, teaming up for the very first time with Brad Pitt.
It's official, old buddy. I'm a has-been.
Now, what Quentin's doing in this movie is that he's telling truthful stories with real-life people intertwined in a fictional way, as he does best. And in this case, you have Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate.
That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
Real-life person who unfortunately was murdered in the Manson murders that took place at the end of the 60s as well.
Charlie's gonna dig you.
So all of these real-life stories are being intertwined in such an amazing way. Critics have already seen it during the film festivals and they are just loving it.
Hey! You're Rick Dalton. Don't you forget it.
And if you're wanting a big, critically acclaimed film on Tubi.tv that you can watch absolutely free, my recommendation has to go to Crash. This movie won the Best Picture at the 2005 Academy Awards, and it's pretty clear to see why. You've got the likes of Sandra Bullock, Candy Newton, Brendan Fraser, all in this movie. And it's a really, really telling tale that takes place in LA, where it asks you to not judge a book by its cover because it tells the same story from many different perspectives. It is a hard film to watch, but a must-watch film indeed. Daily Blast Live, back to you.
And we had a couple of hosts that were there.
Yeah, me
at
and
the
Al
screen.
went.
What'd you think?
I really liked it. It's like all my favorite things. I love Brad Pitt. I love Leonardo DiCaprio, Quentin Tarantino.
Who stole the show? Who stole the show?
I love Leo. He did a fantastic job, but Brad Pitt stole the show.
Really? Would you agree with that?
I would. I was just taken back by the cinematography. Like we were lucky enough to watch it at the C Theater here in Denver, and it's the only theater that's set up to
35 millimeter.
To watch on 35 millimeter film, which is I guess the only way that Tarantino shoots. So it's very old school and it's hard to find. So
cool.
And I do want to suggest, like, if you know a little bit about the Manson murders and how that went down, it does correlate into the movie, and I think you'll have a better experience.
Interesting. All right, we'll be right back.
And a lot of you guys just wrote in.
Sorry, I leaned over and watched the Mueller report right there. And
All I want to know is, I know I'm going to be done with this, I promise, but I just want you to know, write in if you've never written before, today do it. And a lot of you just wrote in. Do you think, stop it, do you think a sitting president should be allowed to be charged while in office?
I do.
Al.
What?
Okay.
I think that's a ridiculous rule.
Right. So a lot of you just wrote in, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. He's a citizen, a U.S. citizen. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of you writing in. Please keep writing in. I just want to show you why they say he can't. So in the Constitution it says, if the president does something wrong, he or she can be impeached. You're holding impeachment. Hold impeachment.
I don't want to participate.
This is impeachment, right? And because they say he can be impeached, the interpretation of the Department of Justice says that means that he can't be charged. But that doesn't actually say that anywhere in the Constitution. It just says this happens instead of the other. So they've interpreted it that way. So write in if you think that interpretation
I hope this goes viral and I'm
is
part of it.
wrong.
I hate you. But
I
isn't
hate
it so
you.
much more like
Isn't that crazy?
Monarchy then? Because then it's like, oh, the king can't be thrown off.
Now,
you know?
they do give you clear instructions,
Like,
but he
literally,
can be
it's the
impeached.
same.
He or
That's
she-
like a king writing, oh, you can't kill the king.
Exactly.
But you can
you can't take it over. Like,
But you can be impeached. So they give you explicit instructions on how not to be a monarch, but no one's going to do that. So this whole thing is like,
it's like they didn't know Trump was going to be president.
It's not like I just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yesterday, but back to Mueller.
I'm kind of tired of it too, to be honest. I've got Trump fatigue.
I
got
think
Mueller
America's
fatigue.
tired of it.
Of course they
I would
are.
assume. Maybe you're not. Write in and tell me you
You know
hate
what I
my
feel
guts.
like? They're Marsha Clarking the American people. Do you know Marsha Clark from OJ?
Yes.
She over-explained everything, so the jury was just like, he's innocent. And I feel like we're kind of doing that with the Mueller report. Just
I'm not sure if that's how it went down.
I think we're Marsha Clarking the American people. I think we're boring
Are you going to hashtag that?
I'm trying to think of a pun I could do with it. Oh, by the way, I'm not allowed to do puns on broadcast anymore.
I put that in a complaint box.
No, he didn't. It doesn't come from him. He has no power. That came from my executive producer.
Oh, I got a new rule. Jeff has power.
No, Jeff has no power. But if you guys think that's wrong, maybe just write in to Bert.
Are you, wow, how sad are you? So when people are talking, are you
Can I
like,
be honest?
oh my God.
Can I be honest? I feel like I have one hand behind my back. But it's there and I can't say it. And lately, no joke, I've been biting my tongue. Like this.
That makes me happy.
That makes me sad.
Are you going to go watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes, I have a now it's 2 hours 45 minutes.
Doesn't she look
like a chess piece with her hair like this?
What does that mean? Like a rook?
Yeah, maybe.
Queen 1, rook 5, checkmate.
That's good.
Okay.
I'd rather watch a Mueller report.
Welcome back to DBL. It's summer, so it's time to visit the great outdoors. And that means a dirty car isn't too far behind. Luckily for you, we're talking at the car wash on this DBL Drive presented by who, everybody? Car. That's right.
I love the car wash.
I know you do.
I go at least once a week.
Really?
I kind of like it.
So do you like the one where you drive in?
Oh, I'm not driving. I'm getting out of my car.
Or you have to watch your car like it's
Yes.
on a little trolley and you're watching it from the window.
Yes, it's
I see.
like it's the way that like
I see.
like
you get out.
You know how like white women watch their dogs at doggy daycare?
Yeah.
On an app?
Oh, yeah.
That's as close as black men get with our cars.
If you're getting out the sponges and cloths for an at-home car wash, we've got some tips. Wash your car in the morning or early evening. Direct sunlight makes it dry too quickly. Use a little WD-40 to shine up your license plate and get rid of rust. And to wash away your worries, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
There you go. Alan Torrey.
I mean, you are just, she's my riding buddy.
Is it ever dull in that car?
No, but it is weird that he's always wearing a turtleneck.
Dude, that's become
I know. What is this? Is that your driving
Can
sweater?
we take people behind the curtain for a second?
Yeah, can we just tell people?
We tape the car, you know, them all in one.
Nobody wants to see the wizard, man.
And so, like, I didn't know.
He
and so
chose a strong
the one
statement
random
to
day, I was like, should I wear a turtleneck? And I was like, sometimes it's cold in the studio.
See,
now we have to look
I still have the image that you wear the turtleneck every day.
I think it's a driving sweater.
Yes.
Yep, here's what's coming up next on DBL.
College controversy. A new $28 million luxury locker room. A library that's literally falling apart. And the social media outcry today. Then, rules of the road. Why being polite is actually making traffic worse. And that old summer love has a new name. The ins and outs of a situationship. When DBL returns.
DBL Nation, Raquel here. Now that we've completely eaten up all the chips from the unboxing video that you probably saw a couple of breaks ago, there is now pizza in the studio, which means I really need to work out tonight because I can't say no right now. Anyway, I have a story, and it's pretty much what I like to call news everyone knows. So 40% of Americans prefer a 4-day work week. Yes, they want that 3-day weekend, and this is a study by Kronos who showed that Americans do want some time to relax. I mean, if I could have that, that'd be ideal, but I do, when you like your job, you're okay like having 2 days off on the weekend. And thankfully, I'm there now. Let me know, DBL Nation, what would be your ideal work week? What would you want to do? Do you want to work mornings? Do you want to work nights? Do you want to work weekends? Do you have the week off? Let me know, and I will talk to you next break. See ya.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. Louisiana State University just got a brand new $28 million football locker room. Players can take naps on seats that turn into beds. There are also iPad stands, charging stations, new offices, training room, players lounge, and a cafeteria. While some people are excited about the new space, LSU has been getting a lot of criticism online. One student tweeted out a photo of the library that's in shambles, asking why this money wasn't put toward a more deserving cause.
But yeah, I mean, our own Erica Cobb told us this money was earmarked just for
the football athletic department. But
honestly,
generally speaking, let's think about what some, because you can apply this to many different universities. Okay, so I just want people to see both sides.
But it should be the university's problem to figure it out, because if there was no football team, they would not have that money. So how would the university fix that problem anyway? They shouldn't rely on the football team to bring in money for them. They should rely on charging each student $250,000 for 4 years of college or whatever it turns out to be. They should manage their money a little bit better. The NCAA is a business, and that playing football brings in a lot of money for that university. They don't pay their players, you know what I mean, which is the best business model in all of business.
Or the worst.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's the best for the NCAA.
It's unethical, I think.
Well, it's the best for the NCAA. So you got to give back a little bit, whether it's nutrition, housing, their facilities.
I agree. Believe me, this is coming from an NCAA athlete, a Division I athlete. I know that your facility motivates you in your excellence and your athletic performance. So I'm fully supportive of this, 1,000%. But I do think that it falls on the alumni where we do see a large disconnect. And I don't think it should be either or. I want to see the athletic department, the swimming pools be at their utmost,
it does look bad, to be honest. To look
I just think if we want to apply that to scholars and scholastically, if you want to motivate students, you're going to have to make sure that their facilities.
I don't think that's their library. They might be remodeling or something. There's no way that's a major university.
I mean, we have I consider you, Al, a scholar to the utmost degree. I
haven't heard that in a while.
Well, to the point where you took your
education. Bars for 10 years.
You're someone that was a pre-med major. You're someone that went to Brown University. You took your scholastic education very seriously. Don't you think that it's on the alumni or the university to also pour financial resources into other things like the library?
But I think the way that you remain relevant, the way that people are talking about your school, is by having a good sports program. It's sad, but that's what it is. People talk about Notre Dame football. They talk about USC football. They talk about Duke basketball. They don't really talk about Duke biochemistry. It's sad, but it's the priorities.
Well, those are people you don't know about those people because they're probably more book smart and not as well known. But the scientists that come out, the doctors, the lawyers, they all went to the library and they're giving money back too. So if you want to fully represent a well-rounded school, you don't have a decrepit looking library.
That's a good point. That's telling Harvard you should work on your football program.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
I mean, but Harvard is its own category.
But why isn't there more money into football facilities?
Well, first of all, they can't give scholarships because they're Ivy League. But honestly,
don't give me a smart answer.
Sorry to hit you with that fun fact. But no, I mean, these are our priorities. People gather around, they connect with their family through Notre Dame football. I guarantee you some of your youngest memories are through the school. And if Lawson said, Dad, I got accepted into Notre Dame, you guys would be excited about that. You probably would be hugging before you even ask him what he's going to major in because you like the school, because the school gives you good memories.
Schools also create research and create cures and create major things scholastically that need to be applauded. And if you leave it like that, I'm no longer interested in your football program because you clearly don't care about your education.
I think that's a great point too. I think, hey, I don't think it should be either or. I just don't. Chime in, DBL Nation.
Sitting on the fence, Sammy.
I am. I want to see.
No, I agree with you. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. You're right.
At least they switched to camera.
A Big Brother house guest is getting called out online for his comments that some say are racist. Jack Matthews made a joke on the live stream this week while talking about another house guest, Isabella Wang, who is Asian. Watch.
How could that even be an argument when you just look at the proof is in the pudding? Like
the rice pudding.
Well, CBS has not commented on that incident. Jeff, our viewers love you for being on Big Brother. You know CBS, you know Big Brother like the back of your hand. What do you think CBS is going to do about this?
I don't know if they should do anything. This is kind of taking the temperature of America. This is what it is. This is a show unlike any other. You could watch these house guests, all house guests, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you choose. Okay.
So even though we only see an hour of the broadcast multiple times a week, you can watch it all day.
All day, just in case you don't know what Big Brother is. I was on the show twice. Almost 6 months of my life was spent in his house. 5 months of my life was spent in his house. I've said some dumb things. As much as you said everybody loves me, there's a lot of people who hate me for things that I've done or said in that house. I've apologized multiple times, but in this particular instance, I don't condone at all what this house guest is doing. I don't condone any of these terms, but I always take the I always take the house guest back because I know what it's like to be in that house. And you might sit on your couch and judge and think you know what it's like in that house, but you don't. You turn into a different person slightly. Your mind goes to a different place. There's a lot of other things that are involved. Again, I'm not condoning what they're saying, but I do want to say this is a learning experience. From the things that I've said on the show, from the feedback that I've got, I've changed my life because of that. Certain points in your life are moments when you fail, you really need to rise above and do better as a person. I want to give every one of these house guests, every one of the past house guests, a chance to get out of that house, learn who they are as a person, and be better for that experience.
Well said. Hey, I hope that they can, you know, follow Jeff Schroeder's lead. Yeah, that would be nice.
Not every step, just.
Well, Lifetime is working on some new projects ripped straight from the headlines. Ooh, I love me a good Lifetime movie, Raquel, so please share the deets.
Well, Sam, Lifetime is working on a new movie, and I think the title says it all. It's called College Admission Scandal. They don't directly say it's about Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, but it is described as two wealthy moms who will do anything to get their kids into college. Now, you can catch the 2-hour film this fall. Also in the works, a follow-up docu-series called Surviving R. Kelly: The Aftermath. R. Kelly is behind bars right now. Many people credit the original series for making that happen. And there's another series planned too, Surviving Jeffrey Epstein. It will look into the allegations made against the New York businessman.
So who would you dream cast to play Lori Loughlin in the Lifetime version of Lori Loughlin?
I think when it comes to a Lifetime movie, they just want that actor. It doesn't have to be named to look exactly like whoever.
Like with the Meghan Markle?
Yeah, you want to get lost in the character, and the only way you can get lost in the character is if you believe it's really about Lori Loughlin. So they're going to have to nail everything about her. I don't think it has to be a name. I can't wait. I live
you're
for
a Lifetime person.
I am. I live for Lifetime movies.
I kind of did say this a while ago, though. We're at the point now where Lifetime is having to do our investigations for our legal, because nothing was happening with R. Kelly until they did something.
Netflix.
We have to have our cable affiliations to solve crimes for us. So well done.
How they see us or when they see us?
Yeah, when they see us, yes.
I think that educated a whole group of people about Central Park 5. I think people don't know.
You're absolutely right.
Well, we had the law on that one. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Well, polite drivers are the ones holding up traffic. Did you know that? Many experts say that makes things worse than the drivers who cut in to jump ahead. AAA recommends the zipper approach to merging. The Colorado Department of Transportation says the zipper approach can actually reduce delays up to 40%. So, Jeff, if I'm now going to listen to AAA and to the Colorado Department of whatever motors.
Sam, stop with your technical talk.
Sounds very official.
And I'm gonna now jump ahead because I'm usually one to wait in line, but I don't wanna aid in a bed. Is that right?
Yeah. Aid in a bed?
Aid in a bed.
Bed?
Aid in a bed.
A bet.
That's what
aid
I
in a bet. I don't want to aid in a bet, so I'm going to cut in front of you. Would you let me in?
Absolutely not.
What do you mean?
No, I don't care.
But I'm doing the right thing.
If I'm waiting, you're waiting behind me.
Okay, so, well, how's that gonna help with traffic?
Are you saying you don't believe in this theory?
No, if I'm waiting in there because I got in line and then someone comes zipping like in the emergency lane and you try to get in there because you think you're helping the situation, no, you're making it worse and you're never getting in front of me.
The question is, do you want to go or do you want to help the greater good? All the cars behind you is what it comes down to. And Jeff is like, no, Jeff's like little tribal king. He just
there's a
runs
lot
his
of
kingdom
other
right
things
there.
that you could do while driving to help traffic, yeah. Like my number one pet peeve, because it happened to me on the way here, is if you're going straight and you're making a left and the light's green, it turns yellow, and the person in front of you doesn't make a left when that light is yellow.
You have to.
Oh, it happens all the time. So why don't we fix that problem first?
Because they're probably on their phones.
Well, you should get your license taken away. That's
I don't know if
that's
it's that extreme.
Well, in Jeff's perfect world, where I was king, that would be number one.
Oh,
Am I allowed in your perfect world?
That is a bold king.
Cool.
But just watch it.
Okay.
Right now you're on the protect list.
His way or the highway.
And don't think about cutting in.
Okay. Have you guys ever been in a situationship? It's yet another new dating term that means having a romantic connection that in most cases serves a short-term need in one or both partners, but may or may not evolve into something more stable or meaningful.
Yeah. I think this is, in this, we kind of break our day up into, like a lot of people have a regular job, then they have a job after this where they drive Uber. I don't know if people have time to have these like long-term romances. I think sometimes you fit your love life in as your life permits, and every once in a while if you go on vacation and you're in the Northeast for a week, You meet somebody.
But do you discuss the terms? Do you say, listen, I'm only here for a few days. This isn't going to amount to anything. Let's just have fun.
I think that you just know that whether you say it or not. I think that adults kind of have an unspoken agreement like, hey, you know, you're going back to Sweden, I'm going back to Kansas City. We kind of both know.
Don't you think Tinder made that so much more easily accessible, right? Like,
yes.
if I know what Tinder is, you know what Tinder is. If I'm in a different location, I feel like dating apps have made the shelf life of romance considerably shorter.
But I think
you can just move to the next
Which I think is a good thing.
I think you need to talk about it, though.
Yes.
I think you need to say, like Danny and Sandy did, they're on that beach.
Summer loving.
They said, you know what, the summer's over
They
with.
said we're both 55 and getting ready to finish high school.
High school seniors.
Hey, I appreciated their communication to one another.
I did too.
Except Danny didn't, I mean, Sandy, when she saw him, was like, Danny, what's going on? He's like, hey, I don't know
That's
you.
not true. He first immediately was like, Sandy!
I
was so excited, and then he realized his bros were behind him, and then he had to be like, hey. But there was a moment where Danny forgot.
Sandy!
Remember?
Right at that little campfire
Yes.
thing. What do you guys call that? We didn't have it at our school. A pep rally. Pep rallies.
Yep. Remember Sandy was in her cheerleading outfit?
She looked darling.
God, I love that movie. I could watch it tonight.
Oh, I love it.
Yep, I think I just missed it. Coming up on DBL, meet the longest-serving Waffle House employee who continues to make customers smile, why she doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon, and you'll never guess what Forever 21 sent with its online orders. Let's just say it was a not-so-subtle suggestion to lose weight.
And, ooh, Jeff does not want me to be behind me because I let everyone in.
That's okay. To each their own.
Like, okay, so I'm studying Buddhism, as I say, and my major problem is traffic. And when I listen, they say when you won't let someone in, it's called bourgeois suffering.
I got bourgeois suffering. How does the Buddhist talk about heavy traffic?
Because people nowadays are like upset about that when there's so many other like more important things to think about.
Are you sure you're reading the right
I don't know.
Dalai Lama?
Yeah, the Dalai Lama isn't worried about traffic.
I think you're just making stuff up
I'm
to
glad you guys are on your phone, not even giving me eye
You're
contact
blending
and
it
trying to
into
tell
that
me that I'm
fake
wrong after
online.
spending
My wife
6
is
years
sending me
studying
pictures
it.
of what my kids are doing since I get limited time with them.
I apologize, that came off really harsh, but what is Al doing?
He's
What? I'm getting
I
Jeff
can't
and I's
speak for
picture
Al.
together, our side
Oh,
to side.
yeah, take a look,
yeah.
guys.
See, that's way better.
Yeah,
Vincent Vega and Jules.
Yes.
And you even had a chain on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Pizza?
There's pizza?
For what?
Ooh, yeah. Is there any?
I want to talk to the DBL Nation about this.
Is there-
I feel like
do we have a break
pizza
right now?
gets snuck into the studio under the guise of night.
What did?
And pizza, and it gets murdered back there.
Yeah, how much?
And then we find out after there's like some weird goat cheese vegan pie left and not the good pies. So
of course I
I
want
want to get to
pizza.
the bottom of this.
I'm up here because you met me.
Okay,
I'm
instead of
Tori.
live,
I want
right,
pizza.
Okay, you want me to get you?
Got it.
I already ate. I would like some pizza.
Wait, do we have a break right now?
I don't know.
What's coming up?
Tie.
What am I doing?
Lorraine Almonds just said, hey, Daily Blast, you guys have grown on me. I watch you all daily. What's up, Boo?
Lorraine Almonds?
Lorraine.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Amons or almonds.
Oh, I thought it was almonds. I was going to say I eat you all day. That didn't sound right.
Welcome back to DBL. Today, there are 2 stories trending that have to do with body shaming, and we want to hear your opinions. So head to dblvote.com to join the conversation. So last night on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion show, the ladies got upset when Andy Cohen asks the viewer question, what work have you had done since last season? Check out the ladies' response.
I hate it when people say, what work have you had done? What work have you had done?
It's one thing if you say, oh my, Erica, your skin
You look
looks
refreshed.
amazing.
Can you tell me, what are you
is
doing
there
for that?
anything I need to
Instead
do?
of what work have you had done?
Or
and then judging you because you had it. Oh, if I had a nose job, I bet I'd look like that too. Well, then go get one.
Head to dblvote.com. Let us know, is it ever okay to ask someone what work have you had done? What would you say to that, Tori?
I don't think so. Look, for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, kind of, yeah, Andy Cohen has every right. That's sort of the whole spiel. But in person, it's a no-no for me. I would never do it. Can you imagine going up to someone and be like I've been asked, like, oh, where you get your bust done? I'm like, it's my mama. Like, you know?
I think with
What year is this?
she was trying to be correct for daytime TV.
Your brassiere.
Cut
Would
her
it be
some
okay
slack.
to ask?
Cut her
Do
some
you have two
slack.
pieces of pizza in front of you on a live TV show?
Wow.
Would that be okay to ask?
Are you body shaming me? Yes, I am. I didn't have time to eat, so I'm eating now.
Yeah, that's okay.
My bigger
Tori.
issue is the black
It's okay.
olives on there. That's unacceptable.
Okay.
Ooh, I dig it.
No black
But do you
olives.
think that they have a responsibility, Tori, considering that, you know, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of influence, and a lot of young millennials love watching this franchise? I don't want them to think that those women are just magically perfect. That's so
I
unrealistic.
You have to teach Sophie that that's real. Like, you don't have
But
to
do
show
you
that.
think that anybody's watching that thinking they haven't had any work done?
It's nice.
And if they really don't know,
It's nice
then what
to set
else
the
don't they know?
It's nice to set the record straight. Because
the record straight with my eyes. I can see.
It's a little, well, a 14-year-old girl might not have
those.
your life experience, Al.
Really?
Yeah.
That a 14-year-old. First of all, a 14-year-old is pretty savvy at that point. They're going to
I'm
be
just
adults.
saying,
in
I
a
think you have
couple
a
years.
responsibility.
So what? Say that I've had work done after looking at that?
I'm sorry, Al. Yeah.
Like
if
Madame
you,
Tussauds.
Well, hey.
They do.
A lot of people look up to Erica Jane. It would be cool if Erica Jane was like, these aren't real.
Why does she have to?
Well, because there's a lot of young girls that feel like they want to have Erica Jane's body, and it'd be nice. And I don't even know if Erica Jane has plastic surgery. I'm just using her in this example. So.
But
I love you, Eric Jane. I really do. Let's see what our DBL Nation has to say. 63% of you say yes, it is okay. It's
I feel
okay.
like Sam and I were in a car, and you just took the steering wheel and jerked it towards Erica Jane. I don't know how we got on that conversation. Like, who is Erica Jane?
The woman in the video, Al.
Oh, okay.
Keep up.
I didn't know.
All right.
She was just driving perfectly straight is what happened.
You're the one that just
I thought
did a
that was the
U-turn.
being. Yeah, I thought that was the
Girl, bye.
I didn't take a bite.
All right.
I took a bite.
Let's get to this next story. The popular fashion. Look at
Sorry, I didn't eat a piece.
Look at Al's face. The popular fashion retailer Forever 21 is being called out for body shaming. Social media exploded with photos of Atkins diet bars included in orders for plus-size girls. Miss Girl Games asks, "What are you trying to tell me, Forever 21? I'm fat, lose weight. Do you give these to non-plus-size women as well?" Well, Forever 21 has responded. They say the freebie items in question were included in all online orders across all sizes and categories. This was an oversight on our part, and we sincerely apologize for any offense. So DBL Nation, head to dblvote.com. Let us know, how would you react to getting a diet bar with your order?
I would be excited about getting anything free with anything I order. That would be amazing.
You guys are wrong because you're not heavy. And if you were really obese and you ordered something in plus size and you were super excited and you opened it and there's an Atkins diet bar sitting in front of you.
They gave it to everybody.
I understand.
They don't know that.
They don't know that, and in your lens, that is incredibly insulting.
Well, isn't there a thing called Google where you can look that up? Hey, did everybody get an Atkins
Oh, I'm
bar?
sure that pops up #1, Al.
Well, if you put it in the search engine, I'm sure it comes right up.
They did their due diligence, Forever 21,
Well,
and made
she
sure.
made enough of an effort to go after them online
Yeah,
without.
because she was insulted.
It's
because
a crappy thing to do.
It's not like it's a kind bar.
gave it to everybody.
It's
a crappy thing to do to give you something for free.
Yeah, but it's a
When it
diet
says
bar.
Atkins diet, all you're doing is laughing. It's
But
like,
why are you assuming that only heavy-set people want to worry about their
Here's
weight?
where
It
we
could be
are
for
in society. If you gave them a Hershey's bar, just a regular chocolate bar, people would be like, I have diabetes, this is offensive to me. You can't even give away something for free now without people getting upset about it?
Can I ask you a real question? Was this free with absolutely no kind of context? Because when you put an Atkins bar, that changes everything. Not only is it not free, it's an insult. It really is.
It's synonymous with weight loss.
Yeah.
If I ordered something, they gave me a rabbit's foot with it, I have no use for a rabbit's foot. I'd be like, yeah!
But a rabbit's foot doesn't historically contextualize, it doesn't give you...
I just made up an
A
object.
rabbit's foot is cruel.
I knew
Here
Sam
we
Oh,
was
go.
coming with that.
Here
yeah.
we go. See what I mean? We train our bodies in this day and age to live longer, to eat healthier, to exercise.
You're not a young
but the
14-year-old
stress of
girl.
social media and people freaking out is going to be killing everybody at the age
But
of
you're
50.
also not a young 14-year-old girl
Or
who's sick
overweight.
and tired of. She might not even be overweight. She might be a size 4 and have some sort of an eating disorder.
This
We don't
is
know.
crazy. This
I
is
don't know.
bananas. Is
I
anyone
disagree
allergic to
with you.
bananas? Because this story's bananas.
Okay. Let's take a
Wow,
look.
got quiet.
Hey, this will make you feel better. Most of our viewers, 68% of them say, hey, sweet, it's a snack.
Absolutely, free
All right,
stuff.
We'll be right back.
I'm going to eat my pizza.
Well, welcome to DBL. Chrissy and Devon, we're so happy to have you both here. Now, before we get to Breakthrough, Devon, what's it like working with Chrissy? Because I'm a huge This Is Us fan, and I want to know if you keep up with the show as well.
Now, listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't keep up with the show. My wife does. She watches it religiously. But what I can tell you about working with Chrissy is you just have to get your Kleenex ready every day you're on set. The same way, you know, audiences cry when they watch her on This Is Us, her performance in Breakthrough, it's transformational.
But my John is a fighter and he doesn't give up. So I need you to go and be the best for John. Nothing less. And you just let God do the rest.
I'm playing Joy Smith, you know, a real person, a real true story. She's a force of nature, and her determination and her unwavering love for her son and the desire for him to survive. And there's no question.
Well, Chrissy, both of the characters that you play, both in This Is Us and Breakthrough, are both mothers who fear for their children's life at this point. What's it like for you to take on these dramatic roles?
Well, it's interesting because at the point that I was shooting the film, Kate was not a mother. Playing and portraying Joy Smith, that informed Kate and her, you know, role as a mother. It's not easy, and you really have to sort of step aside and allow the whatever you're feeling, the empathy, the love, the determination, the desire for your children to survive. And a lot of it is the surrender.
But you know, it's interesting because I found if we're paying attention just at the right moment that we get a lot of the answers. And so I have to tell you, Devon, that this morning when I was really panicking about getting to work on time, I opened up my Instagram and you were on it talking about stress in the spirit and worrying.
There's some people that God in their life that are peace disruptors. I pray you remove them.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Hard Threads is all about a legendary Waffle House waitress. Watch the special bond she has with her customers after working at the restaurant for more than 50 years. This woman has been serving Waffle House customers for nearly 50 years. 85-year-old Doris Seabolt is the longest-serving Waffle House employee. She left truck driving for waitressing in 1971. Over the years, she's developed a special bond with her customers.
99% of them I know by name.
And the customers give the love right back.
I was basically Doris for Halloween one year. First time I waited on her, she was 9.5 months old.
She tried to retire in 1995, but the Waffle House CEO begged her to come back. Soon, Doris will be celebrating 50 years at Waffle House, and she's not planning on leaving.
No, I love it a whole lot. A whole lot. Have a great day.
I've always loved the food at Waffle House, but I love the service as well. Thank you to all the employees. We'll be right back. Go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're used to seeing Stephanie at this time, but this is the B London Takeover. Welcome to your digital break. I'm going to call on you again. Kelly, you've been helping me out all day because I saw you talking to Jeff after the Forever 21 segment that we just did. So I'm kind of leaning toward Jeff on this.
You are. So here's my thing.
Tell me how you feel.
Here I am. Hi, Jeff. So if I had a daughter who was really skinny and maybe was having trouble with an eating disorder, I would not want her to receive an Atkins bar in the mail. And I get Jeff's point, like we're being really PC nowadays. I don't know what that was. But I do think that whether you're bigger or smaller. I just don't think Atkins is synonymous with diet. It's called the Atkins
But
diet.
if you explain to your daughter, hey, this isn't just you.
Of course.
This is everybody's
You
getting
can
it.
use that as an opportunity,
What
but I
if,
still think
what
it's
if you
bad
flipped it
on-
around and your McDonald's gave everybody a supersize when you came through the drive-thru? You don't think people are like,
I think
are you
that was
skinny
bad
shaming me?
too. I
Are
think
you
that was
are you
bad
calling
too.
me fat because you want me to get a supersize? What if they're just promoting a new product or a new upgrade
Okay, well,
and everyone's
give us some
offended by
context
it?
then. Give us some context.
Kelly-
Why are you putting an Atkins bar in the box?
Kelly, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I feel as though.
And I don't have kids, so I don't know.
No, I know, but I feel as though we're.
I
trying
wouldn't
to-
be offended personally. If I got an Atkins bar, I wouldn't be offended personally.
I feel like we're trying to create this perfect world where no company or
True.
no one shames you. I think it's on the parents to sit the kid
You're
down,
right.
actually have conversation,
You're totally
whether it's
right.
at the dinner table and be like, look,
Yep.
you're a little overweight right now. You can do two
Yeah.
things. You can either work your butt off
Yep.
and you can become skinny
Work out,
because it's
do it the
different.
right
It
way.
could be genes, or you grow thick skin because it's all not going to be peaches
Or
and
both.
roses
Or both.
for the rest of your life.
Or both, because that's realistic. Everyone's gonna.
I want to say pieces of cream, but that was one. No, I just remember one day I came on. You know, I bounced around. I went to 8 schools in 12 years.
That's a
One
lot.
year I came home and I was upset because I was a new kid and they were
Yeah.
picking on me. They didn't like the clothes I had. I came to my mom. I was upset and I was like, Mom, they're making fun of me at school, blah, blah, blah. And she said, boy, you better toughen up because they talk bad about Jesus. What makes you think they're not going to talk bad about you? From that day,
I don't
I've
think
just been
parents
like, it is
parent like that
No,
anymore.
I think you're
feel
right. I don't think they
kids
take the
are
time.
too coddled, and I was talking about it earlier.
Sheltered,
right?
yeah.
They're too sheltered, and they're going to be. I think that's why depression is so high, because when you get into the real world, it's hard, and nobody said it's easy.
No.
But once you get hit in the face, that's the first time you're ever going to experience that, and then you fall into depression and other things like that.
Okay, wait.
That's how I think the
Real
correlation
quick,
is.
the part of the movie that ends.
No, wait, you can't say that.
That didn't even have it.
Year we were founded with a special.
Well, I think we had a really spirited show today,
We
did
sure
we not?
did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I thought that was fun.
Did you not know we were at the end of the show? Is that what
I did not know.
We are live. We will
There's
see you
free
tomorrow.
pizza back there.
Same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Hump Day.
Guys, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team. Jeff is calling me Tori right now because I just said something totally random at the end of that break. I don't know what I was doing. But anyways, guys, let us know what you're talking about right now. Please send us in your comments about the Mueller report. Obviously, that's our top story today. It is over. The 2 hearings are over. Again, it was the judiciary hearing and the House Intelligence hearing. 2 separate hearings, but on the same topic. Obviously, the Mueller report. The hashtag Mueller time is still trending right now because this is a big thing. But I want to know what you thought about this. I've been actually listening to it all day. And I gotta admit, it was a little boring. It was hard to listen to. A lot of it went over my head. I wanna know if you think it went over your head. Obviously on this show, we're gonna make it as easy as possible for you to understand what's going on. So we pick out the best sound bites, make it easy for everyone to understand, so we give you the whole picture, but without it being confusing, if that makes sense. So we've got a great show coming up. Again, the Mueller report. He did just finish testifying on the 2 hearings today. So we do have the results of that, and we'll be discussing it again in our 5th host. So we wanna know what you think about this. Are you over it? Do you want to keep hearing about it? Let us know because we do value your opinion. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Bye.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, July 24th. I'm here with Erica, Tori, Al. I'm Jeff. Let's get to it, guys. Former Special Counsel Robert Mueller just finished testifying before lawmakers in 2 hearings. And earlier today, while speaking before the Judiciary Committee, Mueller addressed whether or not the president obstructed justice. Let's watch.
And what about total exoneration? Did you actually totally exonerate the president?
No.
And your investigation actually found, quote, multiple acts by the president that were capable of exerting undue influence over law enforcement investigations, including the Russian interference and obstruction investigations. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it correct that if you had concluded that the president committed the crime of obstruction, you could not publicly state that in your report or here today?
The statement would be that you would not indict, and you would not indict because, under the OLC opinion, a sitting president, excuse me, cannot be indicted.
And meantime, Republicans grilled Mueller on his decision not to charge the man behind the alleged dirty dossier, Christopher Steele.
Director Mueller, can you state with confidence that the Steele dossier was not part of Russia's disinformation campaign?
No, as I said in my opening statement, that part of the building of the case predated me, and by at least 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Manafort's alleged crimes regarding tax evasion predated you. You had no problem charging them. And matter of fact, this Steele dossier predated the Attorney General, and he didn't have any problem answering the question.
And the president has been tweeting today, including this one, which he just tweeted after Mueller's testimony ended, saying truth is a force of nature. Now, Tori, you've DVR'd this. You've been following it all day.
Yeah.
Are you getting tired of this, honestly? Is this becoming tiresome?
It has to be. It is. It is. I'm going to be super honest with you guys. It's a exhausting process. It should be slow, but I'm going to be honest. I think Robert Mueller did not do the best job today that he could have done. He was asked to speak up several times. He was flustered. This was his 90th time testifying in front of Congress. He was an FBI director. You should be very comfortable. You should know your stuff. And when you look flimsy, you make the report look flimsy. Now, here are some 3 big pieces of news you need to know. 1, he did say that you could prosecute Trump after he leaves office. That's something we have not heard. Number 2, I highly recommend watching Adam Schiff. He was in the committee after lunch. This was the question Schiff asked. Trump and his campaign welcomed and encouraged Russian interference. Mueller, yes. And then Trump and his campaign lied about it to cover it up. Yes. So that's an impeachable offense right there. So it really is up to Congress to take that and to move along. Otherwise, we're Marsha Clarking the American people. And what I mean by that in the O.J. Simpson trial is she overdid it so much that the jury kind of tuned out. And I fear that in a Twitter world, we're Marsha Clarking ourselves a bit. I'm kind of coming up with that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think you have to, but...
Do you think he'll be impeached?
No. I think Pelosi will not impeach him. I think it will dilute the 2020 election coming up.
Interesting. I wish we looked into all things in politics like this because, as you know, I don't really believe in our government. That's sad to say. I wish we had someone in there that was honest, but I just think they have a heads up in insider trading. You know what I mean? Why does the NRA, how much of the NRA, or do they control the government? How much does big tobacco have an influence on our government?
The whole thing, let me tell you, I live on a swamp. I mean, D.C. is built on a swamp. It is a swampland, and it's corrupt, yes. But at the highest echelon, having a foreign invader coming into our voting booth and our election, that is on a whole other level of slimy,
I hear you. I get that. But I'd also like to know, in the last 20 years, how did we spend $22 trillion as a government?
I hear you.
I agree with that. I understand what you're saying, Jeff, and I get what you're saying, Tori. I think the issue is, for a lot of people, it's almost like a family. So within our family, we have our issues.
Right.
There's the corruption, there's the disagreement. But when you have an outside source infiltrating your family, then the family's supposed to come together.
That's a great point.
And what's happening is the family is being split apart. And when you're split apart, you're weaker.
Right.
Because now they can see all the different things that are wrong with you,
And that was the point
because you're
of
putting
Russia.
all of your business on the street. And if we're having people come in, that's a bigger threat than what's happening inside of our own family.
You know what? I get that analogy, Erica, but I think what the interference from Russia did was it showed how many Americans don't have that much problems with Russia. I mean, think about the 1980s. Everything was from our hockey team beating the Russians. Rocky beat the Russians. Red Dawn. The Russians are attacking. Now, I think most of Trump's people are pro-Putin. He sends a lot of, hey, this is a good guy. I think a lot of people.
I disagree.
Think about what pro-Putin. Putin is anti-gay. I think a lot of people in this country are still there. He's for a white country. I think a lot of people in this country are for a lot of things that Russia stands for. I don't think is that much different than a lot of his base.
Everybody wants interference.
But the reason why I say that I disagree with you, Al, is because I don't think it's pro the external factor as it's much your big brother over here who has always had this shiny job and everyone is thought so highly of, but you know behind the scenes he ain't all that great. And then somebody came in and put him on blast. That's what it is. It's the disdain for the others. It's the hatred within your family. I still think it goes back to that.
All right. From Big Brother to Big Bison. We got a new story coming up. Some shocking video just in, and a warning to our viewers, this is graphic content. A bison charged a 9-year-old girl in Yellowstone National Park, and video posted to Twitter shows the attack right here coming up. 2 adults run away. You'll see in just a second. And this girl goes flying into the air. She was not seriously hurt or injured by any way, but park officials are warning visitors to stay at least 25 yards away from large animals that could run over you and throw you up in the air like that.
You ever thought you have to write that?
To be warned about that?
So not only are there warning signs, which they did not see, I guess, but apparently this is alleged. The family was seen petting or trying to pet the bison right before the attack. Yeah, this is Darwinism at its best. If you don't get that a bison might charge, then you don't get it.
No, you don't get it. We don't mention Darwinism once a week on this show and use it in a serious context.
But I think that the reason we do mention that now more than we ever did is because people are willing to risk their life, as we've seen with Everest, as we've seen with people getting close to cages, trying to get that ultimate picture of people knocking over famous statues and paintings, because Instagram and social media has taken over people's existence, that to get those extra likes, they will put themselves in harm's way, they will put their children in harm's way, and that's why we'll continue to report on these stories. People will continue to cross over areas at the Grand Canyon that say do not step, because that one picture, this picture from this angle, that's going to really get it. And next thing you know, there's a helicopter going to get you.
You know, I don't want to correlate the two, but I'm always stuck on social media and how that affects our society. I think a lot of this that we're seeing today is driven from our social media. Everybody on social media thinks they can test authority, test the boss, reach someone who's on top and try to take them down. That's what social media is doing today. When people are saying stay 25 yards away from bison, when people are saying don't whitewater raft down this particular thing, when people say don't take a picture by the edge of the Grand Canyon, when people say be trained before you climb up Mount Everest, people are not listening to authority figures. People are not listening to professionals. Everyone is challenging authority instead of just listening, and this is the result of it. I don't know if it correlates, but that's my opinion about it.
Well said, sir.
Wow, you guys like that?
Wow.
Even Erica Cobb is nodding her head.
I was like checking. No, she likes it too. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to you guys. I was kind of like side-eyeing Erica.
Everybody always does that. Is she looking? Is she looking?
All right, well, good. I got a good one in. And there's free pizza back there.
Yeah.
All right, we got an update on a situation we told you about earlier, that massive brawl at Disneyland, if you guys remember. And a warning to our viewers, again, this video is graphic. 3 people involved in this viral video are now facing felony charges, including child endangerment, which means the one man could get just over 7 years behind bars. Meantime, his sister could be jailed for up to 2.5 years if found guilty. I mean, if this is child endangerment, how come the Buffalo video isn't child endangerment?
Yeah, and when you speak about that, that is, of course, we're speaking about a group of parents that disagreed with a 13-year-old umpire's decision in a Little League basic game, and they got in a brawl. They were given citations. These people were a little bit of a harsher scrutiny in a harsher place. This is the other one that you were referring to, if people hadn't remembered. But
you were actually referring to it.
You said in Buffalo.
No, the Buffalo video we just watched.
That's in Denver.
Okay, good call.
Sorry. Sorry, Lakewood.
Lakewood.
Yeah, so the Buffalo video saying the parents should be responsible in some way for their daughter getting thrown up.
yes,
That's what I meant about the
absolutely.
Buffalo
Yes, I
video.
apologize,
Again, the videos are a little bit different. The one you showed that was in right here in Denver, Lakewood. And then the other one was a little egregious with the man punching a woman in the face. I don't know if that correlates into 7 more years of jail time.
That's a big difference.
It is a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
But also, it's a huge difference. But there were children in the middle of like that little kid in the beginning. There were children in the middle. They started fighting with this child right next to them.
You see, at one point, I don't know if we have time to show one more time, but they leave the stroller and the stroller starts to roll away.
Right, and then someone else picks it up. I think that everyone, honestly, should be held to the same standard, because until we start holding people accountable, period, then this is just going to continue on. And that's just embarrassing on so many levels.
So you mean, Erica, I'm nodding. I got your back. I got your back, too. All right, guys, DBL is live and coming up. A university's brand new multi-million-dollar locker room is ruffling feathers. One look at the school's library and you could see why. Plus, our movie expert talks all about Quentin Tarantino's latest flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is it worth your money? Me and Al saw it last night. We'll tell you our opinion, and you, the viewer, are our fifth host. The stakes were high in Washington, D.C., where Robert Mueller was testifying earlier. We're sharing your DBL take this time, coming up next.
Welcome back, DBL Nation. We're here with Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and you might recognize this beautiful young lady, Miss Stephanie Jones, with me today. Today, we're bringing you some brand new beauty tips on how you can be slaying the summer all year long. It doesn't just have to stop for summer, guys. It can go all year, and you can keep doing these looks that slay. All right. So to start off today, I'm actually gonna be showing you guys a quick way to involve neon color into a beautiful look. As you can see, Steph is slaying already. But maybe Steph just wants to like do a little something different, be cute. You know, she's always cute, but you know, be outside of her little box. And that's where the Fenty Beauty liquid liners come into play beautifully. Now these guys come in pairs of 3s. I got one with yellow, pink, and white in it. And I thought with our yellow theme that we were already doing, might as well show off that yellow. So how would you use these? I can tell you exactly that. Now, my favorite way to use these guys is actually using dots. This is a great way without having to have too much precision or too much handwork. You can truly just use the little dots to actually guide your look. So, Steph, I'm gonna have you close, Bill. And for this look, I'm gonna gently just apply 3 dots from the end of the eye. So 1, 2, and maybe 1 more right in the middle. Let's try that one more time. 3. And this, so subtle, yet so cute. Now, if you want to add 1 more, you could actually go ahead and take 1, go ahead and open and look straight up, perfect. Right in the inner corner of the eye. Now, this looks a little different. However, what it does is actually help to guide the eye up and out and brighten the eye in the inner corner as well. Now, you can always do graphic liner and all that jazz, but some of us have a little bit more of a shaky hand. So this is a great way to create a beautiful look that still slays, but doesn't take too much time. Am I right?
Welcome back to DBL Time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you're talking about. Well, everyone is talking about Robert Mueller's testimony on Capitol Hill this morning. Democrats focus on the obstruction of justice, while Republicans raise question about the investigation into Trump's team. So DBL Nation, we want your take on Mueller's testimony. Let's jump right in.
Anna from YouTube says, there's no reason to bring charges against our president. Anna, I think where the disconnect lies is the fact that there can't be charges brought against the president. So really, we're talking about something that would have a conclusion of the earliest a year to the latest 5 years.
All right, Kay from YouTube says maybe Trump will be charged when he's no longer in office. Keyword there, K. Maybe. We don't know. Just like what Erica said, this is a strange time in our nation's history. We kind of have an ambiguous ending to this, maybe / beginning, and we just don't know. So we'll just have to sit back and argue for the next year to 5 years.
But it gives us a great thing to talk about for the show,
thank you.
doesn't
It's
it?
good for our show.
I should be in perfect health at the end of all this.
Karen from Facebook says Mueller is lying once again. The Democrats need to be done with this witch hunt and quit wasting taxpayers' money. If you didn't know, Mueller is a conservative, a Republican, a lifelong Republican. He was appointed by George H.W. Bush. So he's on the Republican side here. He's not lying, in my opinion. He's a policy wonk in the military, served our country well. And when asked specifically today by Schiff, is this a witch hunt? The response unequivocally was no. Is this a hoax? Again, no.
All right. I would have never said unequivocally.
That's because it's unequivocal.
I just would have. Oh, what is it?
It's unequivocally.
It is?
100%.
It's not in?
I just would have went with the hoax
Is it
thing.
on, not in?
On, yeah, it's not in.
See, I told you, don't go for it.
Tori's going to think about that for the next 2 months.
Sometimes takes Big Jeff's advice because Little Jeff, well, no, not Little Jeff, but usually I think things through, and I didn't think that one through. All right, so we're going to move right.
I apologize to everyone, unequivocally. Oh, God.
I do as well. All right, Sharon from Facebook says it would be really nice if the Republicans would stop attacking and not talk so fast and so much they don't give Mueller a chance to answer any of their questions. Sharon, when
that sounds like a guy losing a fight to his girlfriend, like an argument in the car. You're talking too fast. Let me finish. I swear to God, I'm telling the truth.
It does. It does. And that was kind of my defense early this morning. I'm like, wow, it would be terrible to be Mueller, you know, and like get all those questions from everybody. And then you brought up a great point to deny it. This is like his 90th time speaking in front of Congress. So.
Yeah, this isn't new to him.
Right.
He has said, I don't want to be there, and he's making it very clear.
All right. I don't think anybody wants to be there. I sure don't. Maybe Tori. All right. Coming up on DBL, are we being too polite on the roadways? We'll tell you why good behavior is actually causing all that congestion. Plus,
it's official, old buddy. I'm a has-been.
Leo, you're never has been in our hearts. The critics are loving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but will you? We got the movies talking to a pro. When we come back, we're talking to a pro.
The Sun.
Jeff's big problem, show the prompter quickly, Travis, so they can see.
Yeah, there's sometimes there's asterisks and stuff. Jeff doesn't care for whether it is like
confetti and extra stuff. He doesn't care for any of
Here, I don't like ad-libs in the prompter. So when it's like you, I'll decide when I want to tone it up or down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So like if I'm going to add something, just put in there, hey, we talked to a pro next. I'll be like, hey, you know what? This lady knows what she's talking about. We talked to a pro next. I'll add that. But if you put all that stuff in the prompter, I'm like, who's this lady? And I get tripped up.
I feel you.
All right, sorry, I got worked up.
It's little Jeff. That's the problem.
There is no problem with little Jeff.
By the
Trust
way,
me.
everyone is razzing me about unequivocally, and you have every right to. I'm very embarrassed.
No. See, I wasn't even mocking you for that. I was just saying I wouldn't have gone for that word.
I felt mocked, and I knew it, and he's right.
Did you know you said it wrong?
It just sounded wrong.
I
and now
didn't know it was wrong if it helps you
And I
out.
said it so clearly twice.
Wow, the New York
No.
Times is very disappointed in you.
Don't ever say that. That
I
is
wonder if
way
there's
high.
a rule for in or on.
It's a good
'Cause
point.
it's like indivisible, but it's
justice for
Inexplicable, not unexplained.
Hey,
you
I
can't
said
say something's unexplained.
I think it's inexplicable.
I thought it was Justice and Chief yesterday.
Wait, say that again. That was interesting.
No, you thought it was editor.
Editor.
Oh, editor in chief. Justice. What am
Did
I
you
talking
think it's commander and chief?
That-
Or do you think it's
Yeah,
commander in chief?
commander and chief.
It's commander in chief.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm not scared to say I don't know a lot of things.
Well, it's bad when your second example's in.
Welcome back to DBL. Some of summer's biggest movies premiere this month, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Entertainment correspondent Maude Garrett teamed up with the streaming site Tubi to give us a preview, so check it out.
for a critically acclaimed film to watch, both in the theaters and free on Tubi TV, I've got your recommendations here. Everyone's talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Put it there. That's your son? No, that's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
It's Quentin Tarantino's 9th film. He is bringing it here with an all-star cast. I'm talking Leonardo DiCaprio in his first film in 4 years, teaming up for the very first time with Brad Pitt.
It's official, old buddy. Well, has been.
Now, what Quentin's doing in this movie is that he's telling truthful stories with real-life people intertwined in a fictional way, as he does best. And in this case, you have Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate.
That's me. I play Miss Carlson, the klutz.
A real-life person who unfortunately was murdered in the Manson murders that took place at the end of the 60s as well.
Charlie's gonna dig you.
So all of these real-life stories are being intertwined in such an amazing way. Critics have already seen it during the film festivals and they are just loving it.
Hey, you're Rick Dalton. Don't you forget it.
And if you're wanting a big, critically acclaimed film on Tubi.tv that you can watch absolutely free, my recommendation has to go to Crash. This movie won the Best Picture at the 2005 Academy Awards, and it's pretty clear to see why. You've got the likes of Sandra Bullock, Candy Newton, Brendan Fraser, all in this movie. And it's a really, really telling tale that takes place in LA, where it asks you to not judge a book by its cover because it tells the same story from many different perspectives. It is a hard film to watch, but a must-watch film indeed. Daily Blast Live, back to you.
Thanks, Maud. You know, me and Al went to a screening yesterday of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I really liked it. How about you?
Dug it. I loved it. We were at the C Cinema, which is really cool because it's the only cinema in Denver in which you can watch a movie that's shot on 35mm film in the way that it's shown.
We're
so, yeah.
characters
You're
from
gonna have
Pulp
to put it in
Fiction.
context.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
Travolta. You're Samuel L. Jackson. After their clothes get dirty, that's the clothes that Tarantino gives them.
You're supposed to dress up as your favorite Tarantino
character. So there was a lot of different characters there yesterday. I think it's very important to point out, like, if you know about the Manson murders, kind of what happened, it does correlate to the movie. But I got to tell you, Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor. Brad Pitt stole the show.
Yeah, and if you're really into the whole Manson thing, there's a podcast called You Must Remember This. They go into real depth. It's 10 hours, but it's interesting.
Maybe just enjoy the movie. We'll be right back.
Long.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by This is
Hi, DBL Nation. I have some news that is coming in just now. Do you remember a few years ago when Facebook lost a lot of our data and you usually got a message way later that told you, you know, a lot of things were exposed? Mainly it was your email and name and your friends list, but they have now been fined $5 billion for that. Now that is one of the largest fines ever given by the Federal Trade Commission. $5 billion. Any other company, I don't think, could survive something as big as $5 billion, but Facebook made $22 billion last year. So they will be okay, but do you think that will be enough of a deterrent to like have security guards, like walls up for like all these situations, or is this like kind of going easy on them? Let me know if you think $5 billion is enough. I'll go check your comments right now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. It's summer, so it's time to visit the great outdoors. And that means a dirty car isn't too far behind. Luckily for you, we're talking at the car wash on this DBL Drive presented by who, everybody? Car Shield! That's right.
I love the car wash.
I know you do.
I go at least once a week.
Really?
I kind of like it.
So, do you like the one where you drive in?
Oh, I'm not driving. I'm getting out of my car.
Or you have to watch your car like it's
Yes.
on a little trolley and you're watching it from the window.
Yes,
I
it's
see.
like, it's the way that like,
I see.
like
You get out.
You know how like white women watch their dogs at doggy daycare?
Yeah.
On an app?
Oh, yeah.
That's as close as black men get with our cars.
If you're getting out the sponges and cloths for an at-home car wash, we've got some tips. Wash your car in the morning or early evening. Direct sunlight makes it dry too quickly. Use a little WD-40 to shine up your license plate and get rid of rust. And to wash away your worries, get an auto protection plan with Car Shield. Car Shield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
What are you laughing at?
Okay, and the prompter just says ad-lib, make fun of Al's turtleneck.
It literally does. It literally says.
But you didn't tell them all about that, Al.
That turtleneck is
Explain that we
atrocious.
shoot
First of all, it's the middle of the summertime. I was just like, oh, it's cold in the studio. I'll just wear this. And now it's been immortalized all summer. Sorry.
Make fun of Al's turtle. I'm sorry. Here's what's coming up on DBL.
College controversy. A new $28 million luxury locker room. A library that's literally falling apart. And the social media outcry today. Then, rules of the road. Why being polite is actually making traffic worse. And that old summer love has a new name. The ins and outs of a situationship. When DBL returns.
Facebook just got fined. Guess how much Facebook got fined?
$22 million.
More.
100
million.
More.
500 million.
5 billion.
What?
But to them, is that like a huge deal?
I think so. It's a big deal anyway.
Thank you, Travis. I didn't
Did
know
they
that,
really?
and I'm really thankful to hear that. And the difference between that is
I'm not really paying attention.
22 million.
17 billion.
17 billion.
You couldn't subtract 5 from 22?
I was seeing if you could. I definitely couldn't. Al, don't worry, you always look great, says Kayla Cade. I
Oh, tell
believe
her I said
Kayla is from New Orleans.
I love it.
And she and her mom watch the show. She says Facebook will be just fine.
We're doing a story about Louisiana State University right coming up.
Oh, yeah.
What is your mascot there? The tiger?
Yes.
And they're well known for their football. Are they also known for basketball?
Shaq went to LSU.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
now
right?
that's been about it.
But that was an aberration for everything else.
Yes. Well, no, Ben Simmons went there. But
There's
they
a
didn't
couple
even make
people,
the
but I think
tournament
they're
that
more known for football.
Football,
Yeah.
okay. And they are in the Pac-12?
The ACC,
The
I believe.
ACC. That's what it's, the ACC.
Are they? I thought they
ACC.
were SEC.
NCC.
They're the
SCC.
SEC.
They're in the SCC.
Oh, they are?
I'm
They're
pretty
not-
sure they're in the FCC.
Oh, yeah, they're
SCC.
Yeah, the ACC's like.
I think they're in-
SEC, yeah. What am I
they're
talking
in
about? The one with
Yes.
Alabama, Florida.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. We are live, guys. That's why it's in the title. Let's get started. Louisiana State University just got a brand new $28 million football locker room, and players can take naps on seats that turn into beds. There are also iPad stands, charging stations, new offices, training room, and players' lounge and cafeteria. While some people are excited about the new space, LSU has been getting a lot of criticism online. One student tweeted out a photo of the library that's in shambles, asking asking why this money wasn't put toward a more deserving cause.
I am really hot about this. Okay, so for starters, my mother was a college professor at D1 University for 26 years. She was the head of the athletic department. She's also the mother of 3 college athletes. One played Division I football. So I asked her. She explained to me that
But what are her qualifications as a
But what does she know? She explained to me that when money is donated, as it was in this instance, from outside, that money is earmarked. That means that that money has to go to exactly what the intended purpose is. Okay. Otherwise, it's illegal. Also, you have to consider that of that $28 million, $2 million of that came from 2 former athletes who wanted to put millions of dollars back into their former program because they felt like it was of benefit to them. So when people decide what to do with their money, it's called allow them to do what they want to do with their money.
Not what you think they should do.
Not what you think they should. You should do what you want to do with your money.
Right.
I think it's really important that people understand, because anytime it comes to college athletics, and I get it because I do believe that college athletes should be paid, but this is a team sport for the families too. When my brother played football, that meant that I was going out on Friday night as well, making extra tips so that I could put money into his pocket because they cannot work. When my parents are taking on extra responsibilities in order to get more insurance or to go somewhere and get loads of waters and drink and food and stuff and bringing it to the university, and it's gone within 2.2 seconds because some people's parents aren't able to do that, this is a team sport for the athletes as well when it comes to the families. So it's really annoying to hear people talking about how the money should be spent when this school also program has brought in $18.2 million in the past 5 years for bowl games due to payouts, and that money does trickle down to other things for the university. So I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I'm with Eric on this. You guys see a different side?
No, I will say this, objectively speaking, and I don't know all that, and that was really important to hear, and I've learned from the DBL Nation and you guys that NCAA athletes, in my opinion, should be paid. They work their butts off to make money for the colleges, and they don't see a cent of it. My only problem is that does look visually bad for LSU, that library is in that bad of a shape, and you yet have a $28 million. I'm just saying, from a visual perspective, from a non-fan who doesn't know the ins and outs, that looks bad.
You know, but fortunately, unfortunately, them holding up the NCAA tournament trophy at the end of the year,
good.
All that library will be long forgotten.
See, that bothers me.
And it looks like they're remodeling it. I don't think it's fair to show that picture. I don't think that's what a major university library looks like. I went to a small Division III school, and our library was huge and much better looking than that.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Well, a student took it, but also remember the same people complaining are also the same ones putting Everclear in their Starbucks cup while these guys are sacrificing their bodies on the field for absolutely no money at all.
It's a very fair point. I didn't know, and I'm very happy to be educated about it. I don't think people know a lot about that.
I didn't know you could put Everclear in a Starbucks cup.
You can.
That's an Erica fun fact for a Wednesday. It would go to the bottom.
It's a very, very strong liquor, 180 proof or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
basically rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, it's not recommended.
It's great for jungle juice.
Oh.
I say it's not recommended for human consumption.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my point of view. All right, guys. A Big Brother house guest is getting called out online for his comments that say he is racist. Jack Matthews made a joke on the live stream this week while talking about another house guest, Isabella Wang, who is Asian. Let's take a look.
How could that even be an argument when you just look at the proof is in the pudding? Like
the rice pudding. So if you heard that, so CBS has not commented on the incident. If you guys don't know, I was on this show 2 times before. I spent 4 or 5 months of my life in that house. 24 hours a day you're filmed, 7 days a week. There is no break from the cameras. You're in there all the time. And I would test anybody who is watching right now or ask any of their friends if you ever made an ill-colored joke or
an off-color joke.
An off-color joke. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I would say you're a liar. There's not a chance that you've never made one of those jokes. I'm not.
Or just said something you regretted.
Exactly. And I've definitely done that. But I'm not condoning what he did in the house. I don't condone when people are racist or other things they're accused of in there. But I do have their backs. It is a pressure cooker in there. It is an experience like no other that you will never experience. Unless you're in that house, it's very difficult to explain what it's like in there. Again, not condoning what he said, but I always get the house guests' backs. I've said some things on there that I still am am paying for this to this day. I've apologized a million times. People are going to think whatever they want to think. But unless a person can learn from that past experience, like I did, like I hope he did, like I hope past house guests did and do, I always get the house guests back because I know what it's like to be in there, and I want their best interests when they come out, because it is an opportunity to do other things. You come out with a bigger voice, but I don't want this to follow them the rest of their lives like it is kind of me in some point.
Can I ask you a question? Is this going to be weird for that gentleman to walk out not knowing that everyone thinks that about him? Right? So he doesn't know that this has happened.
I'll give you a little inside baseball here. They warn you about what's coming, what's going on, what was in the press.
Okay.
So when you come out of that house, it's really your first time. You walk out and they're like, hey, you ready? You're going to hit the public. You're going to go on stage, and then afterwards you have press.
Okay.
So they let you know what's going on. You talk to a psychologist right when you get out of the house. They let you know what's going on in the press. They let you know the negative things that are happening.
Okay.
And so you're somewhat prepared to answer those questions.
Because that's hard to think about.
I couldn't imagine.
And these people look at this show. I don't mean to go on and on about this, but people look at this show like they're trained actors, or like these people are ready for this experience. This is a temperature of what America is. And if there are certain things that are controversial or people are talking about, odds are it's happening in your own neighborhood too. You know, so I don't know if it's exactly CBS's fault, but it is a learning experience, I would say.
It's a social experiment, much like The Real World on MTV, where you get to see what it really is like.
But that's edited.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So if they did something that would damage MTV's brand,
You're absolutely right.
they could take that out.
It's a good point.
CBS does not have that option.
Interesting.
So crazy. Just thought I'd give you a little insight.
Nice.
All right, guys. Lifetime is working on some new projects. Ripped straight from the headlines. Let's get up to Raquel Villanueva. She has the details.
Well, Jeff, Lifetime is working on a new movie, and the title says it all. It's called College Admission Scandal. They don't directly say it's about Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman, but describe it as two wealthy moms who will do anything to get their kids to college. You can catch the 2-hour film this fall. Now, also in the works, a follow-up docu-series called Surviving R. Kelly: The Aftermath. R. Kelly is behind bars right now, and many people credit the original series for making it happen. There's another series in the works, too. Surviving Jeffrey Epstein will look into the allegations made against the New York businessman.
All right, thank you so much, Raquel. Let's jump into this next story that I'm not sure about. Polite drivers are the ones holding up traffic. What? Many experts say that this makes things worse than the drivers who cut in to jump ahead. AAA recommends the zipper approach to merging. The Colorado Department of Transportation says it can reduce delays up to 40%.
Wait, so just explain that. So the zipper is like...
So do you see the last one that everyone, like this lane stopped, but this lane's going fast, so they want you to go all the way to the end and then kind of merge in.
I see, okay.
I'm not sure if I'm at the end, if I'm letting somebody zipper in front of me. I might be right.
I mean, it's about whether you care about the greater good of the traffic behind you. And I don't think it makes you a good or bad person if you're like, I really don't. If you've been waiting, I understand to watch somebody just come zooming up, and you know they're going to get in front of you and not acknowledge you. And then I know,
the no wave.
Yeah, and so like
I just broke out into a sweat.
Yeah, so Jeff, I kind of feel you on that one.
I do hate when you let them in. There's nothing, not even a thing.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's just give me an acknowledgement that we've had an interaction on this planet. Just
Tori, when was the last time you drove on the highway? I'm not joking.
I went to get my hair done about 3 months ago. And I went in and started hailing, and I'm like, well, I'm never doing this again.
Do you let people in? Are you a good, calm driver?
Yeah, I generally let people in, but I have my days.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It depends on what's happening in your day. What if you don't get that wave?
That is really annoying. It's really annoying because I feel like if you aren't a waiver to acknowledge that someone has done something polite for you, you also probably don't say hi. You probably don't leave the door open for someone. Yeah, there's a lot of things about you that I don't like.
Do you, when someone does something wrong or doesn't use their signal or cuts you off or whatever, do you kind of speed by and then look what kind of person that they are?
And do you ever slowly look and then just go past?
Totally judge them in every
I don't do that. I don't do that because I think people are crazy.
Yeah.
So when people try to do that with me, I'm like, I'm not even acknowledging you because you probably crazy.
Most people don't acknowledge me because they're on their phones while they're driving. That's half the time. I'm like, what is this person doing? They're on Facebook and they're driving down the highway.
No like is worth a life.
What? Oh. That was a good poster.
Yeah, bumper sticker.
Bumper sticker, yeah.
Thank you. It got kind of quiet.
Where'd you hear that?
Well, it isn't.
Did you just make that up?
I think. I don't know. I don't think. I didn't read it anywhere.
Are you aware that you're talking right now?
Yeah, but I didn't read it anywhere.
I think.
I mean, that's a really good saying.
But isn't it true?
You could like sell that like to Instagram or Facebook.
Well, not anymore.
To sell.
No, I'm saying that's really good.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna look into this. Tori's biting her nails. I feel
I'm
like.
hoping it's not a saying so I can take it. Okay.
All right, guys, we want to give a big DB out to Tori Shulman.
Yeah.
A big to Bindi Irwin. She's the daughter of the late Steve Irwin, of course. Now she's engaged to Chandler Powell. He proposed on her 21st birthday and posted these photos saying, "Close to 6 years ago, I fell in love with you, and every day has been a whirlwind of adventure and true happiness."
Are they a little young?
No, so here's the deal. People are like, yo, she's 21, but they have been dating for 6 years.
Yeah, they was 14. What do you know?
But guess what? She went through a big tragedy, and he kind of helped her through that. So I think
I can't argue against the dad thing, but I mean, you know, it's.
I think it's personal, you know?
Yeah, I just think it's a little young.
Do you
never dated anybody else.
Do you think the kids, you know, he has a boy and a girl, and they're at the Australian Zoo. Do you think they ever get tired of hearing like, "Man, I really loved your dad"? Because that would be the first thing I would say if I
would.
met
When people say it to me, like I never get. I mean, obviously, my dad wasn't Steve Irwin, but.
Breaking news.
Yeah, what was
our
Steve Gallagher?
audio extraordinaire, Steve Gallagher, met his wife at 14. They've been together for 30 years.
Wow. All right.
So
bravo, Steve Gallagher.
Steve is a special guy.
Oh, Steve burned you.
No, he was just celebrating the 30 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No like is worth a like.
Coming up on
my go-to.
meet the longest serving Waffle House employee who continues to make customers smile, why she doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon, and you'll never guess what Forever 21 sent with its online order. Let's just say it was not so subtle suggestion to lose weight. Just stick around.
Hey, okay, so we're getting some comments in. Kayla Cade on YouTube says they could have used the money elsewhere. Honestly, they can have a library that they can have a library that looks like that. Disgrace on using funds. Kayla, I hope that I was clear in explaining that when you get a donation, and this is really important, especially in light of Varsity Blues, that when you get a donation to a university, it has to be earmarked unless it's going to the university as a whole. So if LSU football receives a donation, then they have to use it for LSU football. And then it's up to the discretion of the program as to how they're going to use that funding. So even if they were saying we're going to be altruistic about it and we're going to donate it back to the school, that's not their money to donate back to the school. That's their money to bolster the program. Now the idea is that there is a trickle-down effect. So when you talk poorly or it's coming from within the institution, then really what you're doing is cannibalizing the funding for your institution. Because if your marquee program, which would be LSU football, is making well over $100 million a year, then that means that money goes to other sports. It's a part of Title IX. It also can go to bolster facilities and resources for the university as a whole. So really, you want your marquee program to be successful so that you can benefit from that as well. It's also bringing a lot of attention to your university. I'm sure that picture is going to generate a lot of money so that they can get better library, but honestly, the picture was a little shady to me because I'm sure LSU was going to respond with a more appropriate.
Welcome back to DBL. Today there are two stories trending that have to do with body shaming, and we want to hear DBL's opinions. Okay, so head to dblvote.com to join the conversation. All right, we begin. Last night on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion show, the ladies got upset when Andy Cohen asked a viewer question, "What work have you had done since last season?"
check out their response.
I hate it when people say, what work have you had done? What work have you had done?
It's one thing if you say, oh my, Erica, your skin
You look
looks
refreshed.
amazing.
Can you tell me, what are you
is
doing
there
for that?
anything I need to
Instead
do?
of what work have you had done?
Or instead
and then judging you because you had it. Oh, if I had a nose job, I bet I'd look like that too. Well, then go get one.
Head to dblvote.com and let us know, is it ever okay to ask someone, have you ever had work done?
So why y'all looking at me?
I don't know. I just went that way.
Like, whoa.
You're a housewife fan.
Yeah. So I find this, if you're doing it, some people are trying to ask questions because they want to put you on the spot, and why people do this when they could just like, you know, mind their own business, I don't understand. But I do think it's important, like if I get a public compliment like, oh, your skin looks really nice, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's genetic. I woke up like this. Like in reality, I go to an esthetician, hey Angel, twice a month. I get dermaplane, I get laser genesis. My teeth are very white because they're not mine, they're veneers. I'm very honest about that. I want to be honest about the fact that my eyebrows are tattooed on and that I have eyelash extensions, because nobody really wakes up like that. There is work to be done with that, and I don't want to disservice any young child, young girl, or little boy who's looking, thinking, well, if I go to Walgreens and get $2 worth of products and that's what it's going to look like. No, that's not necessarily what it's going to look like. So I think that we have to at least manage expectations.
Well, I think we're missing the point. Like, should the question be asked? Should I feel comfortable asking any of the three of you anything about your body?
I don't think that it's ever really appropriate unless you're asking because maybe you're looking for a recommendation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also don't like the idea of people touting the way that they're natural when all of that isn't natural.
I really appreciate that, because I do think it's important to see that. Sometimes when I do stand-up, I always start with a joke about Spanx, because not only does it make us all feel comfortable, it makes everyone know I'm just like them, because I'm going to call it out. It's going to be the way it is. And I just think it puts people on the same level playing field. So I appreciate you saying that.
All right, let's look at the viewer vote. Would you ever ask somebody if they had work done? 57% say yes.
Wow.
I like Erica's point of view in saying like, oh, I'm looking to get some Botox. Did you ever have it? I think that's an okay way to say it, other than just like, hey, where'd you get that done? I don't know.
And you should say it like that too. Hey, where'd you get that done?
A guy coming out of a manhole asking that question?
All right. The popular fashion retailer Forever 21 is being called out, there you are, for body shaming. Social media exploded with photos of Atkins diet bars included in orders for plus-size clothes. And Miss Girl Games asks, what are you trying to tell me, Forever 21? I'm fat, lose weight. Do you give these to non-plus size women as well? So Forever 21 responded, the freebie items in question were included in all online orders across all sizes and categories. This was an oversight on our part, and we sincerely apologize for any offense. So head to dblvote.com and let us know, how would you react to getting a diet bar with your order? I would be pumped. That's just me personally.
You're not a woman and you're not fat.
I'm a little overweight, but I wouldn't,
No,
any kind of free product, I wouldn't mind. I'm being honest with you.
Okay, and I'm just telling you right now that as like a human being and a female that has been overweight with a family that deals with weight issues, it is almost like someone pointing and laughing. It's insulting. It's embarrassing. Your marketing should have done better. It's a sensitive time right now.
They
We're
just
suddenly
did a
having plus
partnership.
size. They are just getting plus size clothing in there, and we're starting to get representation with Ashley Graham and all of that. You've got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Okay, so
it's people's lives,
with that thought, now that there's plus size athletic wear, that like, okay, if you got like a Kind bar with a plus size with that kind of gear, would that be okay?
It's totally fine for me. Again, I'm speaking Atkins diet for me as a female equals I need you to lose weight. That's all it was. It was a big fad about losing weight quickly.
Would you say the majority of America is trying to be on a diet of some sort?
At all times.
At all times. I would say this applies to 90%.
I don't want Forever 21 telling me that. I can choose to be on a diet.
It's a free product. Couldn't you just throw it away?
And it's insulting. I'm telling you, as a overweight female who's excited to get her package and try on something sexy that might be plus size and show off your curves, the first thing you see is a slap in the face.
All right. Well, I want to talk more about this. Let's hit this up in a break. All right, guys, let's look at the final vote. Sweet. A free snack, 54%. You're with me. Close. We'll be right back.
Close.
No, I won.
The sun used to make our outdoor patio space so
Okay, here, I understand Tori's point. I think of it like I was told that I need to go gluten-free about 2 months ago.
Oh, I didn't.
And it was a big difference for me. I'm like, I don't know what to eat, and it's like a big struggle. So when I see things like a bar or a packaged thing and it says like gluten-free or it says low carb, like I want the least amount of variables. I would be very grateful to get something like that and know it's something that's in my I can eat pantry.
But I feel like that's denying that the Atkins diet is so structured. Like a swoosh line is just do it. Atkins diet means you need lose weight fast.
But
it's
every
different
diet
than a bar.
Paleo,
Any bar.
gluten,
To me,
all of those
Atkins
things.
diet is particular. And I'm interested.
How
Kayla
would you
just
like
wrote
them to
in-
advertise?
Atkins diet? Feel free to advertise for people trying to lose weight. But when you open it up and see Atkins diet and you're ordered a plus size clothing, you put the correlation there immediately. It's like someone having a Weight Watchers card there. That's insulting.
It'd be insulting if you're like an extra large and above, you get a free bar.
Right.
If everybody's getting them,
Right, but
how is that insulting?
I don't know that as a 14-year-old opening up my gift and seeing an Atkins bar sitting there. So I'm not saying it's a huge deal. I'm saying they made a big mistake because it really can hurt
I don't know if
people's
it's a
feelings.
big mistake.
I don't know if it's a mistake.
Well, Kayla K just wrote in, absolutely, being a plus-size female myself, it's a very sensitive subject and an insensitive.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Hard Threads is all about a legendary Waffle House waitress. Watch the special bond she has with her customers after working at the restaurant for more than 50 years.
This woman has been serving Waffle House customers for nearly 50 years. 85-year-old Doris Seabolt is the longest-serving Waffle House employee. She left truck driving for waitressing in 1971. Over the years, she's developed a special bond with her customers.
99% of them I know by name.
And the customers give the love right back.
I was basically Doris for Halloween one year. First time I waited on her, she was 9.5 months old.
She tried to retire in 1995, but the Waffle House CEO begged her to come back. Soon, Doris will be celebrating 50 years at Waffle House, and she's not planning on leaving.
No, I love it a whole lot. A whole lot. Have a great day.
I've always loved the food at Waffle House, but I love the service as well. Thank you to all the employees. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to the DBL Stream Team. I'm Leo, here to talk about the trending shows on Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu, guys. This week we've got a special edition for you with the Emmy nominations, so let's dive right in. Starting the pack is The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel with 20 nominations. It stars Rachel Brosnahan as Midge Maisel, a housewife in the 50s who pursues a comedy career. Catch this Amazon original streaming on Prime, guys. It's witty, it's funny. Rachel Brosnahan is hilarious in it, so catch it streaming now. Next up, When They See Us has 16 nominations. This documentary by Ava DuVernay tells the story of the Central Park jogger case from 1989. You can watch this show now on Netflix, and this is a really deep one, guys. It really depicts the true story of the Central Park Five, so take out some time and catch this one on Netflix right now. After that is Russian Doll on Netflix with 13 nominations. The show follows a young woman in New York City who must find out why she keeps dying and the night keeps repeating itself. You can stream this original on Netflix right now, and it really reminds me of Groundhog Day chopped down into a series. This one's pretty exciting, guys, so catch it streaming on Netflix. The Handmaid's Tale snagged 11 nominations, and this is set in a horrible future where a woman is forced into being a concubine for an evil dictatorship. You can stream this on Hulu now, and another deep one, but guys, this one deserved all the nominations it got. Next up, Our Planet got 10 nominations, Ozark received 9, and Beyonce's Homecoming got 6. You know what that means? Netflix came in the top 3 again. Last year it actually passed HBO, but this year, not quite. Netflix has 117 nominations while HBO has 137. And you can blame Game of Thrones for that. even though the last season was kind of shaky. Game of Thrones broke the record with the most Emmy noms ever at 32 nominations. Let us know which one of these shows you watch and who you want to see win an Emmy.
Welcome back to DBL. Before we go, of course, we have to give a big DBL shout out
to me,
to Al Jackson.
Yeah.
Look how good Al looks. It's Jennifer Lopez. Today is her 50th birthday. Can you believe that Jenny from the block is 50? Well, the birthday girl posted this video of herself dancing on Instagram, showing that she still has them skulls.
Wow.
Yes, honey.
She works, just so you guys know, her work ethic is like crazy. She was a backup dancer for Janet Jackson. In the documentary, she's seen, someone's like, do we really have to do it again? And she goes, again, again, again. She's got great work ethic.
Wow. That was a great story to close out the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, more of that. We'll see you on Thursday.
Was it?